Walk me through the day that you and your partner got shot.
I see him reach and in one motion lift up his shirt and he fires. He lets off 3 rounds at me.
All right. You ready, dude?
Let's do it.
It's been a long time coming.
I know.
Long time coming.
I know. I feel like we've already had this conversation. It's so crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're the number one talked about person on this platform because we finally have you here, the War Machine, which we're going to get into.
Let's do it.
All right, Ruben, let's just jump right into it. I'm excited for this conversation because you served your country as a United States Marine, did some time overseas.
Yep.
Got out, became a law enforcement officer in Chicago, where you were shot in the line of duty along with your partner, which I want to definitely dive into that experience and that night. And now what you're doing as far as the War Machine or the Platoon Cigar and jumping into that. So we got some topics to cover.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because we got a personal, very good friend of ours, Dom, that's been on the episode. He was on the show in the early days.
Yeah, Dom.
Yeah. So, dude,
Good
welcome to the show. Why don't you just
finally having me.
I know, right?
Appreciate it.
We've been talking about it since I think the launch of this podcast. So
That's cool.
yeah, you'll be episode 70, and here we are.
Yeah.
Let's do it, dude. Ruben, give me a little history of who you are, where you're from.
Grew up in Chicago.
Okay.
Born and raised. Raised pretty much with just my mom. My dad was around, not as often as I probably wanted him to be.
Okay.
He was in the military, so pretty much it was just me and my mom. I would see him, holidays, every year. I would see him every so often. He would come down, visit. But I kind of wish he was around more.
Okay.
But he was in the military. And
So they weren't together, though?
no, my parents divorced when I was, I was probably like 3-4 years old. I can't remember how. I was really, really young.
Okay.
Yeah. So grew up on the north side of Chicago. When I was a kid, I was into sports, basketball. And then my mom remarried, and my stepfather was super cool.
Okay. What age?
I can't remember. They were together for a while, and then they got married. I don't remember what year they got married. I was probably around, maybe like 10, maybe.
Okay.
Probably a little younger than that. So he had one stepson, and then he had one son of his own.
All right.
So they became, my brothers,
Got
because
it.
they were together for my mom and him. They were together for the longest, and a couple years back, I want to say maybe I could be messing this up. Maybe actually more than 5 years ago, they got divorced.
Okay.
So he was the father figure, as far as like everyday father figure, for a big chunk of from, I want to say, from the time they got together all the way up till I left to join the Marines.
Which was pretty important for you.
Yeah, very important. I didn't accept it at first.
For sure.
'Cause I was like, who's this guy?
Yeah, for sure.
It's been me and my mom
Mm-hmm.
this whole time. Like, who is this guy? And we bumped heads a little bit, but for the most part, I respected him, and he didn't push it too much.
Okay.
Hey, give me the respect. He kind of, let it be what it was.
I feel it's probably really important for a male role model or male figure in your life, especially growing up in Chicago, because there's a million different avenues you can get pulled down. So it's probably a really important aspect of life growing up in a city like that, where you can get pulled into gang life, drug. I mean, you can go in any direction.
Everything. My dad, My mom and dad met in high school.
Okay.
But my dad and my dad's side of the family, they were Southsiders. So they were more on the south side of Chicago. And then my stepfather, he was more on the north side.
What's the difference?
Just kind of like the culture.
Okay, how?
On the south side, it's mostly blacks. You got Mexicans. I like to think it's a little bit, for sure, it's a little bit more rougher.
Okay.
And then the north side has its pockets, where it is, you got the gangs, you got the drugs and stuff like that. Where I lived at, it was a pretty decent neighborhood, not the best, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
For the most part, it was pretty good. There was gangs, but I knew some of the gang members from a young age, so I kind of like when they got like 18, 19, I was like, dude, I know you.
Okay.
So
they didn't get pulled into any of that?
I could have easily gotten pulled into it, but there was nothing there that attracted me to it.
Interesting.
And I hate to say that because I was like, if something attracted me to it, I probably would have.
Yeah.
Which
is that male figure, the acceptance, wanting to be part of something, I feel is where a lot of kids get pulled into gangs.
And for me, it wasn't that at all. It was the total opposite. I was into sports too. Yeah. And again, I had a stepfather who, he kind of he made sure hey, listen, we're going to play basketball.
Mm-hmm. So he kept you guys busy.
Yeah. I'm taking you with me. Let's go. And I think that he was a huge part of, again, I wasn't floating that way, but he was a huge part in making sure that I stood on this side, not that side.
So what made you want to join the Marine Corps?
My dad.
Okay.
My dad was in the Marines, and my dad was in the Marines. My uncle was in the Army. My grandfather was in the Army. I have 3 cousins. One was in the Navy, and 2 of them are Marines now.
Okay.
So it was like something in the family, history that I probably would have went down this path. And I remember when I told my dad, I was like, so when I was young, I want to say, I can't remember the age. I'm always messed up when it comes to, dates and ages. But I lived with my dad was getting stationed in Okinawa, Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember he came up to me and he's like, hey, I'm getting stationed in Okinawa, Japan. Do you want to come with me? And at first I was like,
that's a big question.
That's a big question. This is before my stepdad came around. I was like, nah. And then finally my dad did some convincing and I was sold on it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go. So I told my mom. My mom was like, absolutely not. And then I kind of convinced her, and my dad kind of convinced her.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to live. I was in 5th grade, and I went to live in Okinawa, Japan for a year.
How was that?
Interesting.
For sure.
For sure. We lived off base for like 3 months, 4 months. So we had to bus to go into school. I think I went to school on, have you been to Okinawa?
No, dodged it, thank God.
So, yeah. So I went to on-base school, and it sucked for me because I was always with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, like my dad was in the picture. He was always in the picture, but he was in the picture like 100% of the time now when I was living with him.
Mm-hmm.
So there was different rules.
His rules, his life.
His rules and my mom's rules, totally different.
Always, yeah.
And I felt that at that point, I needed him to be more of like, hey, dude, I'm your pops. I'm going to show you the ropes. There's some rules. This is not like living at home with your mom.
Mm-hmm.
There's some rules, but I'm gonna let that slide. Not all of them, but let that slide because I want to enjoy my time here with you.
But he was like drill instructor, Marine mode, or what?
Yes, there was a little bit of a drill instructor. I don't want to use that word drill instructor, but there was it was really strict.
Okay.
I got away with some stuff here and there, but it was not what I was used to.
And that has to be an absolute culture shock, because if you go from your mom taking care of you as a young kid,
Yeah,
now
mama's
you're in,
boy, and then now
you're in Okinawa, Japan with your dad.
yeah. It's not even. It's not like I'm going to like North Carolina. It's not something like that. It's like Okinawa, Japan, the other side of the world.
Mm-hmm. Culture shock,
Culture shock.
everything.
Like the first 3 months, we're living off base, so it's like it was just. I guess at that age too, it was a lot for me. So
yeah, completely understood.
school sucked. The experience, looking back at it now, was awesome, but yeah, it is what it is, you know. And then so when I told my dad I was joining the Marines, he was like, absolutely not. And it was,
Really?
yeah, and it was like, what do you mean absolutely not? I was like, you're a Marine. You've been a Marine my whole life. Like, what do you mean? He's like, no, you're not going to do it. I was like, it's kind of not up to you, buddy, you know. And I told my mom, and she was not for it either. I told my stepdad, and I had my stepbrother had just went off to boot camp.
Okay.
So he was kind of like, if you want to, you know, go ahead.
Who's he to tell you no?
Yeah. But I took what he said. I took that advice serious. So once he was kind of like, hey, listen, whatever you want to do, I was like, okay. So my dad was like, hold on, let me go talk to the recruiter with you first. So I took the ASVAB. I did all that. The recruiter asked me, he's like, well, what do you want to do? And I was so naive at the time that I thought the Marine Corps was only like combat related jobs.
100%.
Infantry, door gunner, tanker, that's it. This is all we have to offer you. But there's tons of other jobs that I end up finding out, you know, later. But my dad was in the infantry. So I was like, that's what I want to do. And my recruiter, I remember he told me, he's like, you got a pretty good score. You can do some other stuff. He goes, I just don't want you to come back and have these recruiting, you know, nightmares where it's like, hey, listen, I told you that you could have did something else and you decided to do infantry.
Is this pre 9/11?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I went in March of 2001.
Okay.
So my dad, so we finished that, and my dad's like, hey, listen, why don't you do this, 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 this? I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go infantry. He's like, son, I don't think you want to do infantry, you know? And I was like this, man. I was bones, you know? And he's like, I don't think you want to do infantry. And I was like, fuck that. I'm doing infantry. So I contacted the recruiter again, and I told him what I wanted to do. I was like, yeah, I'm doing infantry. He's like, you sure? I was like, sign me up. So a couple months later.
That's a good recruiter, though.
Yeah, he Staff Sergeant Williams, he was awesome, but he told me, he's like, hey, dude, he gave me a list of the jobs. He's like, listen, you qualify for this, 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 this. Yep. It wasn't a lot, but infantry was like the bottom of the pole. He's like, you can do all these jobs. I was like, I want to do that one down there. He's like, all right, man. He's like,
once you know, you know.
Yeah, once you know, you know. So I signed up, 0311. Go to boot camp.
To Chicago. You're a Paris Island boy.
Nope. West Coast.
Chicago's West Coast?
Yep.
Where do they split it? Mississippi?
It's the Mississippi River, I guess. So I went to West Coast.
Interesting. For some reason I thought Chicago was
Nope.
Paris Island. What was that like? Okay, so you go from Chicago to now you're in San Diego boot camp.
Boot camp was I mean, you've had so many guys on here tell you about boot camp, and boot camp was pretty much the same thing. Yeah. It was a lot of yelling. You know how it is, screaming. You know, you fuck up, we all get, you know, our ass chewed. I was already pretty athletic. So the only thing that bothered me about boot camp was waking up so early.
Really?
Yeah, I hated that. To this day, I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
So those days used to, I mean, every day, but I remember getting out of the rack a little too slow, and the DI just coming and just throwing me off the bed. So I wasn't a morning person. So as far as boot camp, that was the only thing that sucked for me, like really sucked for me, that I couldn't shake it the whole time I was there. I was like, all right, dude, here we go. This bullshit.
These dudes are like, wake up at 4, start your day here. I can't. I've tried. I'm not one of them. Like,
and they do it
every day.
They do it every day. I remember being on fire watch, and I'm like dozing off, and these guys are like, you hear their alarm clock 4:30 in the morning, and they're in there doing push-ups, and I'm like, why? You don't got to get up to like 6. Why are you up at 4:30? And that, I don't know. That's a different breed right there.
I'm one of those, like, if we got to be in formation at 6, I lay everything out the night before, and I'm getting up at like 5:45, teeth brush, clothes on, straight out in the formation. That's how
Last minute.
I'm one of those. I'm getting every last minute of sleep that I can get. I've been like that my whole life. Like, even hunting.
I tried to do that, and I got thrown off the bed. So it didn't work out in boot camp.
Yeah. No,
So,
never does.
Yeah, so I mean, I remember in boot camp we had this drill instructor, Sergeant Van Scoik, and this guy was like the heavy hat. This guy was Satan. He was the devil.
Mm-hmm.
And he would come up to you and he'd grab you and he'd pull you towards him, and he'd like punch out.
Oh yeah.
Like punch you in your chest.
Yeah.
And I remember one day we didn't even make the initial. So we had initial drill.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? We didn't even make the basic bottom line score for initial drill.
You're done.
We all had like 2 left feet. And he was supposed, I think they played it like this, but I guess he was supposed to go to I don't know, Disney World or something in Cali with his family that weekend. And the senior DI was like, "You're not going. You're staying here, and you're gonna make sure they drill." And this guy was so pissed off, which I think it's all a game.
For sure, it's all staged.
It's all bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like, dude, from 4 o'clock. I mean, he made us go outside. We grabbed one of the lockers, the foot lockers.
Yep.
We put dirt in it. We brought it back upstairs. We took out laundry detergent. We put it all over the floor, and then we put the dirt on top of it.
Stuck to everything.
Then he cut up squares. You remember how you used to deck towel?
Yeah.
Like with the whole towel?
Mm-hmm.
He cut up these little squares this big, and he made us deck towel with these squares until everything was fucking clean. I mean, there's guys still like sliding because there's this film.
Oh, for sure.
Like you're never going to get it out.
No.
So he did that. I mean, he like made us take all our racks, put it outside, like act like we're sleeping, get up, count off 1, 2, like, and we're like, why, dude? Just because we didn't make the basic score for initial drill. So, yeah, I mean, boot camp, other than that, I mean, I already knew that.
Yeah.
You know, I already knew boot camp was going to suck. My brother I think at the time my brother had just got stationed, and I think he was a combat engineer. I'm trying to think if he was with 3. I forgot who he was with, but he was somewhere in Pendleton.
Okay.
So he had already told me some stories about boot camp, so I kind of already knew what to expect. So
I knew nothing.
Nothing at all.
No, bro. I was one of those.
You didn't know that boot camp was going to be like.
I knew. Well, I mean, dude, it's 2003. It was one of those like, I'm doing it.
No matter what.
I was like a recruiter's wet dream. I was like, hey, took the ASFAB. I'm an idiot. Give me a job. Let's do this. And I'm like, when can we leave? I was like,
where can you put me at?
Yeah, like, let's go. I'm ready now. And the guy was just like, sign here, son, like one of those. So no,
Easy.
I had no friends that were joining the Marine. I was the only one out of my whole entire like crew that went military.
I saw Full Metal Jacket, and that sold me.
Oh no, no,
I was
never,
like, Full
didn't see
Metal
that.
Jacket. I was like, yes, I
Sign
wanna
me
be
up.
these guys.
Really?
Yes, for sure. They're singing MICKEY. They're singing that. I mean, I knew that if I was going to join a military branch, it was going to be the Marines.
That's the only thing I pretty much knew because I grew up just north of 10th Mountain Division in upstate New York.
Okay.
So we were always dealing with, we call them drum bums because Fort Drum, and so that's kind of like the name we gave them as kids, and you call them around town. And I knew the Army wasn't for me. The Navy was an absolute no, and the Air Force was, it's the Air Force, so no. And then I honestly was like looking at the Coast Guard because there's 2 Coast Guard stations, 30 minutes like each direction of where I grew up. So I was like, oh, I can get stationed here. I'm on the river. I'll live at home. Like,
Sweet.
this is skate. And yeah, I ended up joining the Marines like an idiot. But yeah, no, I was, sign me up. I'm in, I'm out. And that was it.
So I did that. I get out of there, go home, and then I come back for SOI school, and a bunch of guys. So we're sitting there after we graduate SOI school, and a bunch of guys, they put us out in formation, and they're like, everyone's got their like, let's say you're going to machine gun school, you're a mortarman, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they break us up and they say, hey, listen, you guys from this point on, you guys are going to Lejeune. You guys from this point on, you're going to Pendleton. And then there was probably like 27 of us left. And we're like, fuck, did we pass? Like, what, why are we still here?
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I had no idea where and who was in 29 Palms. So they're like, you guys, you're going into Stumps. And this one, a buddy of mine's, Morris, he was with me, and he's like, fuck yeah. And I'm like, I look at him, and I like go straight to him. I'm like, dude, where are we going? He's like, we're going to 29 Palms. I'm like, where is that? He goes, California. I go, so Pendleton. He's like, no. Keep going. He goes, we're going to the desert.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, whatever. I didn't get it. So we pack up. I think it was the next day. The buses come. We head out there. And this is like, I don't know, July or something.
Oh, God.
We're in our alphas. We get there. I'm like, my name starts with a D, so I'm kind of like in the front of the bus. So I get out to help unload sea bags. And as soon as I get out, I feel this heat. And the dude next to me, he's like, don't worry, dude. That's the heat coming from the exhaust of the bus.
No, it wasn't.
And I'm like, all right. And I'm sweating up a storm. It's like 108 degrees or something. And the bus takes off, and it feels like hotter.
Yeah, because you were in the shade.
Yeah, I was in the shade. The sun was on the other side of the bus. Yeah. So I'm like, where the fuck am I? And it's crazy because I seen this somewhere where this guy describes it as he got to 29 Palms, and it was like everybody staring at you, and these guys just start immediately talking shit to you once you get there. And it was a bunch of like salt guys.
Mm-hmm.
Had already went to Okinawa. They're already salty.
But the war hasn't kicked off yet.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you don't have like crusty seniors coming back.
No.
Okay.
Dude. But we do have guys that look like, when I tell you salty, they look like they have snow camis on.
Oh yeah, because there's bleached
and
out.
It's creased, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some senior guys that they were like, listen, you guys don't rate desert boots, so you guys can't wear desert boots unless we're in the field. When we're in garrison, you're wearing black boots. So all the boots, so you knew all the boots. All the senior guys had the desert boots, and we're the only guys with.
Oh, so you're walking around
We were walking around, yeah,
with
with black boots. And then, hazing, everything, you name it. Running up sugar cookie, running up Dragon's Back. Like, you name it, I've done it. All the hazing. I mean, guys, then there's hazing, and then there's just fucking with you.
Oh, and out there at 29 Palms, you guys are
There's nothing to do.
kind of tucked away, and there's nothing to do
Nothing.
besides just either haze or get hazed.
Yes.
I mean, how many NJPs and court
Are
martials
taking it? Tons.
I've heard my whole career. Like,
And
whole
guys used to
platoons.
run into rooms with gas masks and just wail on guys that they had problems with. Guys used to. I remember guys would. It happened to me when I was a boot, and then I partaked in it.
For sure.
Where guys would just piss in frisbees, freeze them, and then crack them and slide them under the doors. So
That's a good one. I've never heard of
a
that
good
one.
So in the morning, there's just a pile of piss just everywhere, dude.
That's the most Marine shit ever.
It's the most Marine shit. I mean, there's guys jumping off the catwalks. Like, field day turned into, hey, listen, if you got a problem with this guy, there goes the boxing equipment.
Mm-hmm.
We had a helmet, gloves. Figure it out.
Yep.
You know, fucking 1 minute, 3 rounds or whatever. Figure it out. All right, stop it. Boom, that's it. That's how it was back in 01.
Yeah.
And the senior guys knew about it, and the staff NCOs knew about it.
Yeah.
But shit got done.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is how I feel it should always be.
Yeah.
Because, I come from the Amtrak community, so it was like, hey, raise the ramp, get in the back, and handle your shit.
Yep.
So, and dude, then you shake hands, and that's it.
Yep.
You move on.
Yep. There was a lot of guys that, and then you had the constant, like, barracks fights with the other,
Because you got comm school out there. And
comm school.
tanks
So
are
I went
out
to
there.
2-7. I went to 2nd Battalion, 7th Marine, so I was in Echo Company. But we had Echo Company, and then upstairs we had Fox.
Okay.
So that was a brawl, like, and it seemed to happen every field day.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I got a problem with BAM. I'm gonna handle this shit on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that was it, dude. And then we got tight really quick, and then we went to we deployed to Okinawa, Japan.
So you already, so this is bringing
So
back.
I told my dad, I was like, hey, listen, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. I go, guess where I'm going? He's like, where? I go, Okinawa, Japan. He started laughing. He's like, he died laughing. He's like, because I left Okinawa, Japan in 5th grade. I said, I'd never fucking come here ever again.
Here you are.
And I'm on a
Right
plane,
back.
going back to Oki. So we get to Okinawa, Japan, and we train a lot there. So while we're there, the war kicks off.
Okay.
Okay. So actually, let me rewind that. So back in 2001, the Twin Towers happened, and we're sitting out at range 400.
Yup.
And I remember a couple of guys, lieutenants, had the phones out there, and they're getting these calls, and then they basically put us in a school circle, and they tell us what happened. A couple guys had family in New York, so the higher-ups were like, hey, listen, call your family, make sure everything's okay. So they got phone calls home while we were out in the field. And then it hit us hard. They're like, dude, this just happened. We're thinking, are we going to go back and go? They're like, no, training just got way more serious.
Yeah.
So we're sitting out in range 400. We're running 410 Alpha. We're running all the ranges. So we finished that, and I forgot who it was. I think it was either 3-7 or 1-7's coming back, and we take their spot to go to Okinawa, Japan. And we're thinking, like, come on, let's go to Iraq. Like, fuck this.
Yeah.
So we go to Okinawa, Japan, and we're there. And while we're there, we get stop loss.
Which is what? Explain the stop loss.
Stop loss is basically where all our senior guys had an EAS date that they're supposed to get out. The war, so finally we go into Iraq. So that means that we're at a time of war. That means that your EAS date
Doesn't
is when we
exist.
say it is.
Mm-hmm.
So all those guys got stop loss. So they're pissed. But they're pissed because they're in Okinawa.
Yeah.
And I get it.
They're not in Iraq.
They're
and
like,
stop
dude,
loss.
if we're in the infantry. If we're in Iraq and stop loss, fuck it, we're here. We're at the Super Bowl. So they were They were pissed because they were in Okinawa, Japan, and they were like,
Did that trickle down to you guys? Because I could see, like you're saying, these, you're a grunt. That's what grunts do, and now these dudes are stop loss and they're not even deploying. I mean, did that just trickle down and make your guys' life hell, or did it not affect you?
no, I think at that point everyone knew how serious it was, and guys started getting a little tight.
Okay.
Because we knew, first of all, our seniors knew, hey, listen, if we don't go, these guys are going. Maybe, maybe not, but they're probably going to go.
What was the atmosphere like? 'Cause I don't know if I've ever actually asked or talked to guys that were in that transition phase. Because I watched the trade centers fall, and then I fell for the, okay, we're gonna be patriotic and we're gonna defend our country. But you were in prior. Was there a weird shift throughout the Marine Corps? Did you see it? Like, did it get really serious, or was it just an
A shift as in, did we believe it?
No, as far as like training, the atmosphere, the tempo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, was it like an overnight thing for you guys? So
Yes.
was it kind of like fun and cool before, then the World Trade Centers hit, and then everything flipped? Or was it like gradual?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, we ran Range 400.
Yeah.
Steel Night. We did all these different ops, and it was, for me, it was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, for my seniors, it was probably like, fuck this shit again. But for me, it was the first taste of it. Range 400, first time. It kind of sucked, but I was like, damn, this is what I'm going to be doing from now on. Steel Night.
Yep.
CAX, all that shit. When we were in Okinawa, Japan, so when we found out about the when 9/11 hit, training did get serious. When we got to Okinawa, what happened was we took, I want to say it was 17. We took their pump. So what happened is, this is the part that didn't make sense to me. At the time, in Okinawa, Japan, we were the second most senior infantry battalion in the entire Marine Corps.
Really?
And we were in Okinawa, Japan. So we thought we're Desert Marines.
Mm-hmm.
We're the second most senior infantry battalion in the Marine Corps at that time. Why are we not in Iraq?
Yeah.
So a bunch of guys had a chip on their shoulder. They were like, this is bullshit. But we, like, when I say we, like my generation of Marines, like the guys I came in with, we kind of knew, we just got here. We knew eventually we're probably going to get the call. Mm-hmm. We started to see units push out, come back home, and then the other unit go. So they told us this story about, hey, you guys are here because, North Korea's here in case something happens with that, or China. And we were like, whatever. So we took 17's pump and we went to the Philippines.
Oh, you did a MEU
there? No, we didn't do a MEU. We flew straight into.
Oh, really?
We did Balikatan.
Okay.
We did what else did we do? We went to South Korea, and we went to. Am I missing some? The Philippines, and that's it. And then mainland Japan.
Okay.
So we did that whole pump during that time when it was stop loss. Then we came home. After that, I think we were in. I can't remember how long that pump was because stop loss. But we came home, and once we came home, all the guys at EAS that were supposed to leave.
So you lost all your seniors.
So we lost all our seniors, so we lost all our seniors. We got like a boot drop while we were in Oki, but it was only like 8 guys or something like that. So all our guys, they're gone. Mm-hmm. So right as they're leaving, or like right when they left, right after that, they tell us, hey, listen, you guys are getting orders to go overseas. They didn't tell us Iraq yet. So all these guys are trying to get back in. All the senior guys. And a couple of them, I talked to them, they felt like shit. Because they were like, dude, we've been waiting for this. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to get back in, and they were like, listen, we could get you back in, but you're not going to go back with 2-7. And they were like, well, fuck that. We're going to go,
What's the point?
We train with these guys like we're not going to go with another unit, which totally makes sense. Mm-hmm. A couple guys did sign up and did some like reserve unit spots. 3 months before we push out, 3 or 4 months before we push out to go to Iraq, we find out they give us a boot drop. So it's like we can't even haze. We can't even we can't do none of that really.
Really?
You know, because we're about to go to Iraq with these guys. We got to get these guys spun up.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of, like,
I'm sure there were some games, but
there was some games being played, but it was kind of like, hey, listen, these guys are gonna fucking have our back when we're out there. Let's make sure they're.
Damn, they got lucky.
They got lucky.
Yeah.
They got lucky compared to the hazing that we got. They definitely got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, that was more important to us.
For sure.
Was building that bond and making sure these guys know their job.
Yep.
And it worked out. It worked out for us.
So you guys get the call that you're going to Iraq, and then off you go.
Yep.
What's that like?
So we get to Iraq, and we get to Kuwait. We convoy up to half of the unit convoys up, and the other half flies in to Al-Assad. We get there. Al-Assad, good old
Al-Assad.
We get there, and they kind of we kind of didn't really know what our mission was at first, and then they tell us that we are gonna be the they kind of tell Echo Company, like, hey, you guys are the main effort, like you guys are. Yeah, so we end up in Heat.
You went to Hit?
Yeah.
What year?
We're there in 04.
Fuck, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We were there in 04, and then the rest, so we had guys on the border, and then we had guys up north in the Haditha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was there all of, did the Army relieve you guys?
We relieved the Army. So there was a tank. So when we got to, so here's a funny story. When we got to Hit, we got there, and dude, they like were ready to get the fuck out of there. Like, we got there, and they show us around, and like a day later they like pull out, and they leave like 2 guys to do left seat, right seat.
That's such an Army thing to do.
But it's only like 3 Humvees. Everybody else is gone. There's nothing Army there at all. They took all their shit. Like, the day we got there, they were already like, all right, these guys are coming here, pack up. Once they get here, let's get the fuck out. And they left those guys there to do left seat, right seat. So we get there, they do left seat, right seat with us. We drive through the city, and we get like pop shots at us.
Mm-hmm. How soon being there were you guys engaged?
I want to say probably in 2 or 3 days they were mortaring us.
Really?
Immediately.
Welcome
and
to
then
Iraq.
As far as the firefights, I would say probably 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
Before you saw a serious firefight. But the pop shots is what I'm talking about. So they right seat, left seat. We drive through the traffic circle, pop shots. And bunch of guys, they're like, oh shit. Like, let's dismount. Army's like, fuck that. Keep going. They're like, we got 2 days. We're not getting out of this Humvee at all. You guys could do that shit on Wednesday if you want to. But we're not doing that shit today. So we're like, just like a bunch of guys, we're like just marking shit. Like, okay, this. And their intel, like, to our intel was okay. They told us about some spots and stuff like that, but they pushed out, and then we took over. We started doing the whole, at that time they were doing a lot of satellite patrol, win the hearts and minds.
Yep.
You know, passing out soccer balls.
So I was in Hit for the elections.
Okay.
Which was 05, I believe.
That was after us, yeah.
And we took over from the Army. So we were at the train station.
Okay.
Just there was like, we called it it was
so once you get to the traffic circle, you make a right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a lake there. It was like a milk covered, smelled like rotten bodied lake.
Yes.
And so we rolled in the middle of the night. The Army was at the train station, and we rolled in. I think I've told this story on here where Dude, we come pulling in, middle of the night. My lieutenant jumps out because I was lieutenant's driver. He climbs down the side of the vehicle. He meets up and they're talking, and I'm kind of like looking, and I pull up my MVGs, and dude, there's like all these Humvees staged, and they all have gunners in them. They're all running. You could see, everything that's going on. And the lieutenant, they talk for a few minutes, and they split, and the guy gets in and lead Vic, and they just start rolling out, and he climbs up and puts on the comms, and I'm like, "What's up, sir?" And he's like, "Apparently the train station's ours. They're out of here." I'm like, "What do you mean they're out of here?" He's like, they've been waiting on us. Like, they're out, and we didn't even get 3 guys. They just left. And the best part about this whole thing is, so they had the whole HESCO barriers built around the train station.
See, when I was there, they didn't have that at all.
Okay.
They didn't have that at all.
So the Army had to have come in after you guys then.
Well, we replaced an Army unit.
Okay.
And then the unit that replaced us, they got hit pretty bad, was a reserve unit from, I think they were kind of by that South Padre Island in Texas somewhere.
Okay.
They were around there because I remember a couple of guys talking about, we go there on the weekends or whatever. And they got hit pretty bad. And they were a reserve unit that
these
took over for us.
I wonder when that was, because these guys were ready, and they were like, "Good luck."
Well, the guys that we had that we relieved, they were ready to go too. I mean, they all left, and they only left those guys to do right seat, left seat. I'm telling you,
it's just so weird.
They took pop shots at us, and they were like, they're like, relax, it's gonna happen every day, keep going. And we're like, shouldn't we? No, not today. Wednesday, you can.
Wednesday, not with us here.
Yeah, not with us here. So, it's funny that train station right there, they took a pop shot at us, and we were listening to music in our Humvee, and I remember them saying, "Contact, contact." And I remember I was driving the Humvee, and I jump out of the Humvee as the Humvee's still in drive, and it just falls into this ditch really nice and slow. And we were taking fire from like I don't know if you remember the traffic circle.
Oh yeah.
You remember the school that was there? It was like a 4 or 5 level building. It was a school.
No.
It was on your left hand side once you pass the traffic circle. Anyways, they were shooting at us from there. It's funny because we were going towards the train station though.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I remember that. So we get there. Then they send us we did some patrols around there. We lost a couple guys there. One of my boys, David Vicente, we lost him. And that was like, for all of us, that shit sucked.
How did you lose him?
IED.
Okay.
So what happened was we got stuck out in this area. We couldn't get out. They were a QRF. They came out to get us, and it was all double stacked anti-tank mines. And they just... So we lost him, and that was like really devastating to the whole company, because we're like, you hear these stories, you're like, the first guys that are gonna die are the boots, not us. I hate to say it, but that's like how I was thinking. I was like, it's not gonna be us. And he was a machine gunner, and we lost him, dude, and that ripped. Like, everybody was like, okay, this shit is real. Yeah.
Because after a while, I mean, the pop shots and stuff, you hear guys, and it's like the Army guy, it just becomes daily. I don't want to say complacent, but it is. It
is 100%.
And then when something major, it kind of resets. Like, okay, this is even though you're in war, you're in a foreign country, you're in the city, you're getting pop shots at you. Like, your mindset kind of, it becomes a joke. You hear
daily life.
Yeah, you hear a lot of these guys talk about that, and it's just like, oh yeah, keep rolling. Like, we'll be back, and then you run over a double stacked tank mines, and then reality sets home real quick.
Yeah, so that sucked, man. We lost Dave. Then after that, we lost Bar. Then after that, we lost engineers. I mean, we were taking casualties, and I remember, while I was there, I got in trouble, and I got in trouble for something so stupid. I got in trouble because I wouldn't go on patrol with there was like a half cell left in my battery.
Your radio?
For my radio. And they wanted me to go set up at a LPOP with my team for like 3 hours. And it was in an area where QRF always gets hit. They always get fucking shot at. And I kind of like, kind of told, our platoon sergeant at the time, I told him, first of all, my squad leader told me not, and I knew him. So I was kind of like, Matt, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, come on. He's like, I'm in a pickle here. I'm like, I'm not doing it. And staff sergeant heard it. And he was like, what the fuck, you can't take orders? I was like, I'm not doing that. Well, that's stupid. I go, give me another battery or something. Or I go, they're always getting shot at here. Something's going to happen. And for 3 hours, we're not going to have comms. Eventually, we're not going to have comms on our way back. Or we might lose it there, and they might see us and light us up. Like, for what? For what purpose? So they sent me to Al Assad, and I did prison guard for like a week. And it kind of was a break. And then after that,
Al Assad had bomb ass food too. Did they have good food while you were there?
I ate at the chow hall the whole time.
Did you stay in Tent City?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So they had the Mongolian grill and all that. Did they have the Baskin Robbins when you were there?
We ate at the chow hall the whole time. That's what I'm saying. Like we didn't, and then we got pogie bait obviously from the PX and shit. But
yeah.
But so I stood there for a week. I came back, and when I came back, I think a day or two later, we lost Eric Barr, and I remember being so pissed off. Because I came back and the staff sergeant, I don't remember what happened, but they kind of didn't let me go out on that patrol. And one of our platoons, second platoon, had gotten a really bad firefight. And IEDs hit Eric Barr and he died. And I remember they brought him back. And I remember I was so furious that my guys just went out there without me. I don't know why I wasn't on this patrol. I think he was just being an asshole. And I remember helping the guys take out Eric Barr out of the back of a Humvee. And the helo was coming. And the tarp they had over him like flew off. Mm-hmm. And I just saw him. And I just broke down and started crying. I was like, this is bullshit. I was like really pissed off.
How bad was he, if you don't mind me asking?
He was burnt. Completely burnt. His body was complete. So they went around a bend on a road, and there was an IED on the top of the light pole that was facing down, and then there was one on the bottom that was facing up, and he was right when they went around the corner, it hit him right there. So like I saw him and I didn't even recognize him. And I knew it was Barr, but I was like, and he was just like burnt. And I was so pissed off about that. And they sent them out. Then we came back. The platoon came back, and the thing is that the higher ups in that command, I hate saying this, but I gotta say it, but like we had some higher ups in that command that were just like fucking turds.
How?
So I believe in troop welfare,
for sure,
morale,
for sure. It's everything.
It's everything. I mean, if you you got to convince me, I'm gonna fight for my brothers, but you still got to convince me that what we're doing is the right thing, and you gotta take care of your troops.
A good leader thinks like that.
Even when he gets to the higher ups, you would think that they think like that, and they didn't. Mm-hmm. They didn't, and that's the problem I had. I said that a couple times before. I think a lot of guys agree with me and don't have any pushback when it comes to that.
Yep.
And we're sitting in. They tell us we're going to do this thing called rip or sweep, which is we're going to go. This is so. We were part of the first push into Fallujah.
Really?
So we were the first part of Fallujah. So they tell us we're gonna do this thing called Rip or Sweep. Right before we're gonna do Rip or Sweep, I'm sitting on my bed on my pack, and the first sergeant comes up to me and he says, "Hey, I'm sorry." He says that to me. He goes, "Hey, I'm sorry." And I'm like, I look at him. I'm like, I get up. I'm like, "What's that, first sergeant?" He goes, have you talked to the chaplain?" And I go, "No." He goes, "This is exactly what I'm talking about." And I go, "No." He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." He goes, "Chaplain's going to come talk to you." Right. So I'm like, what the fuck?
What? That's not good.
Right. So the chaplain comes up to me, and the chaplain tells me that my brother passes away.
Ugh.
So my stepbrother passed away when I was out there in Iraq. So at the time, I had my brother Mike. He was in Iraq at the time. So right away I thought it was him, but it was my brother that was stateside.
Okay.
Who got pinched between a car and he died. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is how you spread news? Like, first sergeant didn't even know what the fuck's going on. Like, I was already like, I wasn't even thinking about that, but this is hindsight. I thought about it. I was like, they didn't do it the right way. So I get a call home, find out I'm balling. I find out it's my stepbrother Jason. It's not Mike, who's in country too. So, after that's done, the first sergeant comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry what happened." He goes, you have the Red Cross. If you want, you could go home." And I'm like, of course I wanted to go home. But something told me, I was like, dude, these guys are about to go into the worst place ever. I was a team leader at the time. I was like, no, I'm not going to go home. So I stood there, and we went through Fallujah, and Fallujah sucked ass. I remember while we were in Fallujah for like 3 weeks, and right when we were about to come out, actually we were there for about a month because we were there prior, and right when we were about to come out, I felt the need to be home. So I told the first sergeant, I'm like, "Hey, first sergeant, shouldn't be a problem. I just lost my brother. Figured I'd take one for the team and fucking make sure my platoon did this op, came back home. We're good." And this fucking guy, I say, "Hey, first sergeant, is there any way I could, take you up on that offer, and I want to see my family. I want to go home, at this time." He tells me, "Are you fucking serious?" And I was like, because first of all, I told my squad leader. My squad leader's like, "Yeah, absolutely." He's like,
Yeah.
let me, I'll go with you. And he's like, "Why the fuck didn't you tell me that?" Or he goes, "Why the fuck didn't you go when we were going to try to get you to go?" And I was like, dude, I didn't even know what to say. I was like, "I don't know, first sergeant." That's exactly what I said. I said, "I don't know, first sergeant."
Because I didn't want to abandon my boys before the push.
I couldn't even believe that this guy was saying that to me.
Yeah, that's wild.
This is a guy that, true story, and you can ask some guys from 2-7 and Echo. I don't even know how this is even possible. He was a big swole dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this is possible. All I could think is that he jammed it in. He put a magazine in his rifle upside down.
That's impressive.
Pretty impressive. Then went to the clearing barrel, realized, because my buddy was at the clearing barrel, realized that his magazine was upside down, put it back in the right way, racked around, showed them, then racked it and cleared it again. My buddy Durheim was like, "What the fuck did I just see?"
This is a first sergeant?
First sergeant.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And so after that whole thing happened, finally, I I had a meeting with the CO because I was like, listen, is it okay if not? I'm gonna talk to the CO.
Yeah.
You know, I don't give a fuck at this point.
Yep.
Finally, CO talked to me. CO asked me, he's like, did you have the option before to do it? I was like, yeah. He goes, okay. He goes, listen, we're going to try to get you out of here, but I can't make any promises. I was like, okay. It's a better answer than fucking the other one.
Yeah.
You know, instead of being pissed off at me. So after about a week, 2 weeks, I went home for a week, hung out with my family. It was a break. And during that time, we lost 4 contractors.
Yeah.
And, I'm sorry, we lost 4 engineers, combat engineers.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it. I remember seeing it on the news, and I was like, fuck, man. I knew exactly where they got hit at. I knew exactly who they were. And I was like, dude, I got to get back. I have to get back. So it was kind of hard to, you know, I was trying to spend time with my family and be there. But then I was like, man, the boys,
they're hooking and jabbing right now.
they're hooking and jabbing. So I got back. So we finished that mess. And we got back from Iraq during that pump. And a bunch of guys were getting out. And I was like, what am I going to do? I kind of didn't have any plans. I was kind of like, I know I'm done, but am I really done? Because I don't have any plans.
Yeah.
Most of the guys getting out, they got something lined up. I didn't have shit lined up. I was like, I was talking about it. I was all talk. I was like, I'm getting the fuck out, getting the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
I had some time so I could get out a little earlier. And I remember I was sitting down in my room with my buddy. He's like, what are you going to do? I go, no idea, but I'm not staying here.
Yep.
He's like, maybe you should think about it. I go, all right, I'm not staying here. And he's like, hey, I don't blame you. And it was just changed. At that time, I feel like it was still early because you came in, but it was changing. The Marine Corps was changing. And I think that those guys had enough that they learned that they can go out and be leaders now.
Yeah.
And lead platoons and move forward.
I want to back up to Fallujah. That was a wild time. And you guys did the push?
We were part of the first part of it. We weren't the what was it called?
The invasion.
The invasion. Yeah, we weren't part of that. We were part of the first push,
And
then they pulled us out.
So what?
I don't know if you heard about that, but they pushed us in. It was like door to door, and then they pushed us out. And I read somewhere in a book why they did that, because the initial reason why we went is because they killed those contractors.
Yep.
So I don't know. You'd have to look it up why they pushed us out, but they basically told us, hey, listen, we're going to Fallujah. We go to Fallujah. We're fucking surrounding the city, door to door. Then they push us out, doing patrols in the city. Then they push us out. And then when they pushed us out, that's when it became a hornet's nest. Because I feel the Taliban at that time, they were like, oh, look at what we did. We pushed them out.
So the Taliban felt like they're taking credit.
They were
for
taking
you
credit
guys
for,
being pulled back by your own unit, by your own command.
And that was all, Mad Dog Madison shit.
For sure.
That was all. Here's the crazy part. Like, I know some guys that are like, they hate him. I've talked to a couple guys that hate him, and they're like, why did he pull us out? He got a lot of guys killed, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't get into the politics of, chess piece and shit like that. But,
Way above our pay grade.
Way above. So they pulled us out. So we were there, like I said, for about a month. They pulled us out. And then we left in November sometime, and that's when the fucking the real push inside.
So when you guys are in Fallujah, you're going door to door. So it wasn't like,
It was patrols.
so you're not getting into it like the guys that came in after you, because now, so the city wasn't really,
No, there was guys getting into it.
for sure, but it wasn't the flood of insurgents that went to Fallujah ready for the fight.
Yeah, that shit was.
So you guys were the
insane.
calm
I
before
heard
the storm.
stories about that shit, and that shit was insane.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy.
So you guys didn't experience that, but I mean, you guys are obviously
Not
still,
that, no.
you guys are still getting into it, but you're not.
Yeah, we're getting some, but it was like when I heard stories about that, because some of those guys that I knew stood in, and they ended up going back to, like on their third or fourth pump, they ended up going back to Iraq, and they were like, yeah, Fallujah was fucking, it's not even worth it no more. Like they're, we've been there, done that, destroyed it.
Turned into Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
So, but we got a lot of action in Hit. We got a lot of action at what was the other one? Fallujah. But there was just, what was that? West. So where you guys were at, I forgot the town, but where you guys were at in where the train station is. If you keep driving west, where the cement factory was, remember? Do you remember the cement factory?
Where I was there was Hit, Ramadi, Haditha, Haklania, Sinjik, Barwana. That was all in that area. Those were all the towns that we were in.
Okay. So do you even remember the cement factory?
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
I forgot what city that was in, but they were building car bombs there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did a whole raid with the SEALs, with every special forces that you could think of.
Really?
There. And we get there and there's nobody there.
Every time, bro.
Every time.
Dude, they stood us up to do this raid on.
We're like going into these like offices.
Yeah.
We're going into the cement factory. We're like tearing shit up. Like
there's
trying
no
to find
sign of
something.
anything.
Nothing.
How many times, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, they're building suicide vests in this factory. We're gonna go to run a mission on it, and nothing. Not even like a ball bearing laying around.
Intel there was just they were just spinning us.
Yeah, man. I think it was just to keep us busy and like so we didn't get complacent. And
100%.
Oh, they're building bombs here. They got the kid suicide vests.
Oh, we're gonna go. This
and everybody gets amped, and 3 days of prep, and you get there, and you're like, there's not even a wire here.
So we went there, and that was I forgot what city it was at, but that was just west of the train station.
Yeah. Okay.
So what else did we do there? We did a bunch of we trained some of the ICDC guys, the Iraq defense fucking guys, and then we did
What was that like? Because we had to train a lot of the police. And
so
the
we
military.
didn't did we go? I don't think we went on patrol with them.
Oh.
But I know you guys did. But we trained them. So
What's your guys' fault?
Yeah.
It was a shit show.
But I will say this to our defense. We trained them towards the end of our deployment.
You guys were over it?
We didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're like, not our problem.
This is not our problem. Dude. It was, and I thought like when they look good on like during the scenarios, but I've seen like some videos where they're just like their Kevlar's like all hanging on, barely chin strap all the way over here. Like I've seen some horror stories of that.
Only way I can describe this, and I hope I don't get canceled for this, but if you took a platoon full of Down syndrome adults and kitted them out and then had them patrol with you, that's how we would explain it. Because dude, they would just wander off like in the middle of a patrol, and then you'd look back and you're like, yo, we're missing 4 dudes. Where are they?
I'm glad we didn't experience that. I'm glad we didn't have to. A couple of guys that I know had to deal with that, their second pump. A couple of guys that I know that went to Afghanistan had to deal with some of that shit over there. But when we got there, again, we didn't know what our mission was right away. So they kind of were just like throwing us out. They told us we were the main effort, but we were like, okay, main effort for what?
Yep.
They're like, oh, provide security. And we were like, okay, whatever. So we did a phase there where we were like winning the hearts and minds.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, passing out soccer balls. We got this shipment full of fucking Nerf soccer balls and footballs, and we'd go and a bunch of guys just beaming them at the kids and shit.
Dude,
And
you know what's crazy? They had some really nice soccer balls in hit when we took it over. The kids would kick them over the wall. This is a hilarious story. We're prepped. We're getting ready to roll out on like this stupid fucking mission patrol bullshit. But it's Abrams tanks are staged, then it's our vehicle stage. Our tanks were staged behind the Abrams, and we're outside. We're at the train station, and these. Okay, I gotta back up. So when we took over from the Army, the whole train station was HESCO'd, right? Like they put up HESCO barriers around the whole train station. So
but they considered that hit?
no, we were just on the outside.
Okay.
So we took over the train station, and then they had the main base in hit. So we
hit.
never even really messed with that. We'd go resupply or whatever there, but we were the train station. And then when we took it over from the Army, we're there for, I want to say like a week or two. And they're coming in to resupply us, but they're going to drop it with the CH-43s, you know, like they just dump the food and water. So we get the call, they're like, hey, birds are like 2 minutes out, lock up your hatches, going to get dusty, whatever. So everybody's prepping for these birds to come in. Well, they're coming, we close up the hatches, and they come in, they do their thing, and they leave. And so we pop open the hatches, and where my vehicle was, I was right next to the HESCO barrier, and I swing my hatch open, and I'm staring at like 3 kids that are standing there like looking at my vehicle. The Army never filled up the HESCO barriers with dirt. They just put them up. They were empty the whole entire time. So when these birds came in to resupply us, the wash knocked over, and then it just like dominoed. So the whole perimeter fell over because they're all attached. So we spent like the next 5 days filling HESCO barriers because the Army, the whole entire time they were there at the train station, never put dirt in the HESCOs. So this was during that time the HESCO barriers are still like being put up. So the kids were just kicking soccer balls into where we're our base because there's no walls or anything now. So as we're getting prepped to leave, this kid, he's kicking the soccer ball around. And I was like, I get his attention, and he throws it over to me. And this tank is taking off. They're all getting ready to, we're literally rolling out. And I'm on the back of my vehicle. And like the back of an Abrams, it has that exhaust that's just like a jet engine that comes out of it.
Yeah.
Dude, I throw the soccer ball to the tank commander because him and I were buddies. And as we're leaving and they step on it, dude, he tosses that ball behind the tank and it just boom and launches this soccer ball. These kids go chasing it like a mile down the road. It went forever. But yeah, dude, we were leaving the train station and the freaking Army is just, the whole entire time, their whole deployment, they were stationed there. They never put anything in the HESCO barriers.
Yeah, we got there so early that we were taking bottled water showers.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And
100%.
Burning shit.
Yep.
And then I think maybe halfway they gave us like a couple Porta-Johns.
See, we never even had that, even after you at the train station. We never.
Yeah, at HIT, we had a couple Porta-Johns. And then the shit started filling up because the guy that would come and clear it out, the Taliban got him, and they were like, hey, listen, if you fucking keep doing this shit, we're going to kill you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
So for like a week, that shit was just filled up to the top of just like, Lord knows what was in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we had, again, we got like this like little Connex box with like just showers.
Yeah.
And we got that towards the end of our deployment, and, we were kind of, grateful for that at the time.
Oh, dude, I had a solar heater.
Yeah.
That you'd lay out all day, and then you'd pop that at night, and it was like scalding hot water. It was the greatest.
Nice.
It was the greatest thing I ever brought.
We had to put up MRE boxes on our windows at night, just so they don't see the light from the road and shit. So it was like you would look on the base, and it was like pitch black. You'd probably see like one or two like chem lights. But yeah, it was
interesting.
It was an interesting time for sure. It was an interesting time.
I was actually telling the girls not too long ago this story, sharing shitters with the Iraqis, and how horrible it was because we built them their own shitters because obviously they squat and they mud butt on everything, and then they wash their ass with their hand.
Yep.
So there's liquid shit water everywhere, and I'll never forget, dude. It's like 3 a.m. I'm in my vehicle. It's freezing. We're there in the wintertime, which people don't realize how cold Iraq gets. Did I get dressed? And I got bubble guts, dude. And I'm running to this little makeshift shitter. And I turn the corner, dude, and there's just shit, liquid, like cow shit, all over the toilet seat. And I'm like, you've got to be, dude, like, no, I'm done. So I go to the next one, and there's no doors on them, you know? Next one, dude, there's this Iraqi dude standing there, eye level. I just get a full, like, crotch shot in the middle of the night. I'm like, dude, this is the worst shit I've ever dealt with. So I ended up just walking off and just squatting and shitting. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. So the next day, we literally gave the Iraqis all of those porta shitters, and we had to build our own and designate them and tape them off and like put locks on them because those dudes, because we're working with because they're in that time when we were there, that was when the election was, and it was this huge ordeal. It was all like you had to dip their fingers in this ink and all this bullshit. It was cool being there for like a part of history that doesn't matter anymore, but. Yeah, dude, we had to build our own shitters because those Iraqis, bro, would just mud butt on everything, and that was the worst part, dude. I remember the Army. We were on this little fob, middle of the desert. It was right outside of Ramadi, and this Army like log train comes through, the convoy comes rolling in, and I never had the luxury, unless we went to a base for a proper toilet or anything, showers, nothing. We were just living out of our vehicle. So it was everyday shit for us, right? Like we stole a toilet seat. It was so, dude,
that was gold.
People,
that was gold.
Motherfuckers would try to steal it off my vehicle at night. We had to chain it. We chained and put a lock around this toilet seat just to
throw it over the Humvee exhaust,
over the antenna. Oh, so so you go on the antenna, then we'd lock it to a rack. But I ended up getting the 50 cal can, got the foam from inside the 40 mic cans and cut it. Dude, it was bougie, right, for a toilet seat. People would offer like, yo, I'll give you some money, I'll give you money to let me use your shitter. So dudes would try to steal it and everything, but. Like, I don't even know where I was going with that story, but it was wild, bro. Like, just the fact that, like, a toilet and the luxury and the stuff that you dealt with was such an incredible thing. Like, dudes would be trying to, you'd hear guys on the side of the vehicle, and you'd go flying out there. It's like
a wild time. It was literally a wild time.
This is where I was going with it. Sorry, real quick.
Yep.
Bro, we're on this base outside of Ramadi, and this Army convoy comes rolling in. And this little dude comes running up to us, and he's like, hey, where do you guys piss around here? We're like, in those tubes. And he's like, no, seriously, where do you piss? We're like, in the tubes. He's like, no, you guys are like, dude, I get it. Like, I really got to piss, so I know the Army's got to mess with me. Or the Marines, you guys always got to mess with us. Like, but where are the pissers?
You thought they were the mortars?
No, he's just like, no, seriously. And he didn't. I'm like, bro, go over to the tubes and piss in the tube because did you guys have tubes in the ground? Yeah. So that was like a normal thing where you'd bury tubes deep in the ground. Those were the pissers. This dude's never pissed in a tube before. He's like, where are your bathrooms? And I'm like, that's the bathroom. Like, go piss in the tube. He's like, you guys are seriously, you guys are fucking with me. And we're all like, no, like, bro, like, this is just go piss in the tube. So he goes over there and he's looking at it. He's like investigating them.
You could smell it once you
could see. Yeah, you could see the ground's wet around each PVC pipe. And this poor little guy, he's too short to like get his dick level with the tube. So he's like collecting rocks, and he's piling this pile of rocks up, and he's standing on his tippy toes, and we're dying, bro. Like, and he's looking at us, and there's this whole crowd of Marines like staring at this little Army guy as he's on his tippy toes on a pile of rocks trying to piss in this tube. And he finally finishes, and I'm like, you're telling me I go, where do you go to the bathroom? And he goes, in a bathroom? And I'm like, oh, sorry, buddy. He goes, they literally, this, I'll never forget this as long as I live. This is when I kind of contemplated if I had made the right decision by joining the Marine Corps. He goes, you mean to tell me this is how you guys are living? And I go, how long have you been in Iraq? He's like, almost a year. And I go, you shouldn't have pissed in a toilet?
That's when you were like, I picked the wrong brand.
Made the wrong mistake. And I was like, bro, I haven't shit on a toilet since I've been in this shithole country or pissed in a... I'm like, he's like, yeah, he's like, I use a bathroom. He's like, I'm never stopping in this place again. He's like, we will never come back here. And here we are, luxury that we got a toilet seat strapped to an ammo can, which is like the greatest thing in the world.
Greatest thing ever.
And here's this Army guy that's never even pissed in a tube. I'm like, bro, we are living, we're living two different worlds in this country.
For sure.
It's
total
insane.
Opposite.
100%.
Oh man, Iraq was Iraq was an
Fascinating.
interesting time. Yeah.
Fascinating. You just meet different guys along the way and like their
In the
experience.
whole Marine Corps. I mean, I met some really cool dudes.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
that I still keep in contact with to this day. So,
It's incredible the diversity of human beings that join the military. You think like everybody's like same mindset, same background. I'm a patriot. Like I'm gonna defend.
and I think like, oh man, like the shit we would be able to say back then to each other. I don't know if they still do that now.
There's no way.
But we used to talk hella shit to each other.
Bro,
Like
the most racist,
the most. That's what I was gonna say.
the most
The racist, and guys would just laugh and call you something back, and it was just like, all right, whatever.
but that's what build the camaraderie.
100%.
Dudes just and I think I just put a clip out from our last episode, or I don't know if I put it out yet, but like your biggest insecurities, the everything that's wrong with you,
Yes.
things that you're proud of. I mean, everything is shit on, destroyed,
100%.
made fun of, but they're your best friends for doing it.
Yep.
And then you have this camaraderie where if somebody that's not part of your platoon said
shit.
something
Yeah.
that I've been belittling you about since we've
Only
met
I can do that.
because we're in the same platoon, but
Yep.
then some dude wants to chirp off and everybody like, oh, and then you're fighting the third deck because they want to
Yep.
make fun of the guy that has a weird walk in your platoon.
One guy in Fox Company got stabbed.
I believe it.
He got stabbed
believe
with like
it.
a fucking, you know those small K bars? You know they sell the big
Like a letter
one?
opener one.
Yeah, but no, it was like the mini one, so it was
Okay.
like this big.
Okay.
And there was a big fight, and it was field day,
Mm-hmm.
of course. Everybody's hammered.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you a funny story about field day. And there's a big fight that breaks out. He goes up there and he fucking hammered, stabs the dude. We're like, dude, why?
Same team.
You stabbed him? He's like, I didn't do it on purpose. I'm like, clearly you went up there with a K-bar. What were you
had
gonna
full
do?
intentions.
Sharpen it?
What's that? It's
What
like
are you
the news anchor. He's like, I think I chopped somebody's arm off or something. They're like, what? Like, I have a grenade. You're like, why do you have this? That's like, that's that scene right there
So-
every field day.
So for field day, this is funny. That same first sergeant I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
We're having field day, and I'm sure by now your listeners know what field day is.
Maybe, maybe not, but
Basically, where you clean, immaculate,
white glove inspection, cleaned room.
right?
Yes.
So
And the outside.
and the outside. Oh yeah,
But you lived in the desert. I lived right off the freeway. Like my barracks touched like the 5 freeway,
yeah.
which is just dust. And so they
All day. There's sand all day.
and your windowsills got to be white glove cleaned. No.
So this first sergeant comes in and he checks 2 things. So I was living with 2 other senior guys, and this is kind of like when I first got in. And he walks in, and I was in charge of cleaning the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So he walks in and he looks at 2 spots. He grabs the rim of the door, he runs his finger across, and there's nothing on it. Goes, good to go. He walks to the bathroom, and I shit you not, he takes his hand, he cups it, and he goes around the ring of the inside of the toilet with his bare hand. God. And he's like looking at me while he's like scraping it. And I look at my sergeant at the time, and I look at him because he stops looking at me. He's like just scraping along. And I look at my sergeant, and I'm like, for sure we failed. I go, I didn't clean that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who cleans? Like, I did the scrubber, but like
Yeah.
underneath, like, I go, looks like you're gonna have to see us later on today because we didn't pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at him like this. I'm like,
It's the worst feeling.
he's
too.
looking at me like this. He's like, he's just closing his eyes. Like, he comes out and there's nothing on his hand. Nothing. It's like the dust of like the ceramic. Like, that's all. He goes, washes his hand in the sink. He goes, good to go. Walks out. I'm like, that's the type of field day. Like,
Oh.
that's the type of field day they had.
Dude, we started getting
Scraping
belligerent.
gum.
Oh my God.
Then if you like, you were a smoker, you had to
Mhm.
have all the smoke buds. Like I was
Go
like,
find
dude, I don't
find
even.
me 50.
Yeah, I don't even smoke. You put them in your hat. I'm like, dude, I don't even smoke.
Yeah.
Why am I picking this up? This one guy told me, he was like, before you leave this place, the day I got off the bus that I was telling you about, we brought all our shit to our barracks. Everybody's like talking shit to us. They're like, fresh meat.
Mm-hmm.
And they take us to get our gear at SIF. And this guy's walking with us. Fuck, I forgot his name, but total shitbag. You could tell already. Like, this guy was like on his way, like 1 foot out the door. He's walking and he lights up a smoke.
While he's walking?
While he's walking.
Oh.
Doesn't give a fuck no more.
Clearly.
He's like 3 weeks out.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like done. His camis are like snow camis. And he's smoking. He's like, you guys want to smoke? I'm like, no. He goes, or I said, no, I don't smoke. He goes, you don't smoke? I go, no. He goes, do you drink at least? I go, and at the time I wasn't a drinker. He goes, I guarantee you before you leave this place, you're going to do one or the other. About 3 weeks into it, I went out with the boys and we got drunk, hammered, out in Palm Springs.
Oh God.
And yeah, so that was funny. Like I saw that guy, I was like, I do not want to be like this guy ever. And he was like already out the door. He was like, I guarantee you, you're gonna do one of these two things. I was like, fuck, man.
There's two people that come from 29 Palms. The ones that absolutely love it, which is not very many, and then the ones that it just ruins because it is.
I said this before, and this is no disrespect, and I don't take nothing away from the other units, but 29 Palms Marines are different. They're built different. They're just a different type of Marine. I'm sorry. I'll argue with anyone to the death of me. They're just different. And you see that when we used to train with other units, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is why. You know,
because there's nothing to do out there. You guys are trapped.
that's it.
You're trapped. So that you're under a magnifying glass from your seniors. You can't escape anybody unless you go to 29 Palms.
Is a training center, so it's
literally you step out of your barracks in your training.
yeah.
We used to say that for our MOS too, like the track community, because 29 Palms in Pendleton, we're right there. So we do all of our training. They come out and they do their water op. So we're pretty even when it comes to those guys. But like Lejeune Marines, they're not the same as like us. Like we would get Lejeune Marines that would come out and we'd be like, fuck Lejeune, because they were just a different breed of Marine, and then they're super serious. Everybody's got a high and tight, like everything's tucked in and perfect. And then they'd come to the Pendleton, and we're all like going to the beach for lunch, and everyone's.
I remember when we first got desert boots, they were like authorized.
Yeah.
We were in the desert, and we thought it was the coolest shit in the world because we were like one of the only units, not the units, but that whole base was one of the only ones that could have desert boots. And everyone obviously got the new camis and shit like that. But yeah, 29 Palms Marines are just different. They're built different, like totally different.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. So you get out of the Marine.
Yeah.
You decide to get out. That time comes.
Yeah.
One deployment, and that was to Iraq. That was enough for you to not.
That was enough for me, not because of Iraq itself, just because of the way I saw the Marine Corps and the leadership going.
Which is crazy because when I came in, which was what year did you get out?
I got out in 2005.
Okay, so I came in right at the end, right in the beginning of 2004. So it even we even feel for like our generation, we feel. So when I hit the fleet, the whole battalion was doing the Fallujah push. So then I get to the fleet and it's a ghost town. So then when they came back, all hell broke loose. But like that whole generation, we feel we were like the last good ones because that was before, the leadership changed, the way the Marine Corps started really getting hazing. Even though our MOS was built off of hazing, it lasted much longer. But like they started doing away with field day. It went to general cleanups or general cleanup on Thursdays instead of doing Chinese field days till 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Now they're just
And if you
wiping
don't
things
pass,
down.
You don't get the weekend off. Yeah.
Yeah, then there's no master sergeants like walking through in herds inspecting.
Listen, I don't want to talk bad about 27 or 29 Palms, but I went to it was the 20-year reunion of us being there. And I went over there and we saw some of the barracks, dude. And I was like,
Trash.
What the
Trash, bro.
Like I walked into a room. It was my old platoon. I walked in. I met some of the younger Marines because squared away guys, but it was like I walked in a room and I was just like, dude, this shit, when I was in, would not fly.
No.
You guys would be like running up Sugar Cookie right now.
Well, dude, you go there
With your
now.
mattresses.
You go now, and dude, they have like Teletubby blankets, and
Yeah.
like they got all their poster. It's the shit.
Everything's different.
Yep.
It's not like formal, like
It's
your
just how
bed
they
has
want
to
it.
be. Yeah, your bed has to be like this. Your shoe display has to be like this. No shower shoes here. Your uniforms have to be this.
Yep.
It was all like structured away to where, dude, I remember tying boot bands to my bed sheets.
Yep.
To make sure they were tight.
Yep.
Like you go now, you could just.
See, we didn't even sleep under our sheets. We
I
had
slept on top of them.
Yeah, I slept. I spent my whole entire career in the barracks sleeping on top, and then you would have a personal blanket.
Yep.
And you would put that away in the
Yep.
morning, and then you'd, because I wanted to sleep in till the last
Yes.
minute, so I wasn't gonna make my bed every day. I'd do
No way.
I'd watch these dudes, they're tucking their beds in. I'm like,
We used to have the metal boot bands,
yeah,
and we used to take
springs,
springs, and we used to take them underneath our bed,
hook them.
hook them. We had like 6 or 8 of them, and hook them, and that's what we slept on that.
Yeah,
And that's the way it was.
Yep.
And our sheets were clean. We'd iron them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I went into the barracks, and like even the duty hut, I was like,
trash,
dude.
Now they just
And the barracks
everything
are
looks
different,
run
though.
down,
It
man.
does.
All the doors are all dented, kicked. They don't have the GWAT money anymore, so I feel they just let it go. Like with us,
Like I will say, our doors, you just push on them and they would open.
open. Oh, for sure.
But the barracks that I went into, they were newer barracks, and
yeah.
the doors are still like that.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, this is all damage done by some senior guys on field day,
Yeah.
hammered, that are just like
Kicking indoors. Yep.
So. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Times are changing.
For sure. We'll bring it back, hopefully.
So yeah, I hope so. So I get out of there. I don't know at all what I want to do. So I hit the unemployment, and I'm just like chilling at home with my mom, not worrying about nothing. I'm a veteran. I fought for this country.
Thank me for my service.
Not so much that, but I was like, I'm chilling. I deserve a long vacation, right?
Yep.
Who the fuck am I? I did that for a while, dude. I did that for like 5 months where I wasn't doing shit, just collecting a fucking check, calling. Finally, I applied to be a security guard for a armor truck company.
How was that?
It was cool. It was just a job.
So you're back in Chicago at this point.
Yeah, I'm back. I went back home to Chicago. And I'm back home in Chicago. I get this job, and it was just a job. There was nothing fulfilling about it. I kind of was like, just, rolling with the punches. Yeah. And then I applied for the police department, and that was in 2006.
Okay. So
I waited for a while. And I'm trying to think. I waited for almost 2 years before they called me. And then while I was in the academy, I had my daughter.
Okay.
So I went through the police academy. So I ended up taking the job. Like I told you before that, they hired us, and then the city said, we don't have money for this recruit class, so we're kind of going to put you on standby. Right.
That is wild that a department doesn't have the money, or the city doesn't have the money.
City that big, Chicago. So we so they were like, we'll call you.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I don't know what else to tell you. So I had a buddy of mine who helped me get into Blackwater.
Okay.
So I went with Blackwater, and I was there like 2 weeks, and my recruiter called me for CPD, and she's like, hey, listen, this is the start date, this, that, and the third. And I lied to her, and I was like, I have a family emergency in Puerto Rico. So,
But meanwhile, you're training for Blackwater.
Meanwhile, I was training for Blackwater.
Okay.
But I only wanted to do the driving course,
Which are awesome.
which I heard are awesome. So I was trying to see if I could stretch it so I could finish that course, and I could, okay, yeah. I'll go take the job offer. Well, she's like, well, if you're not here on this date, then we're going to push through your file. And
you've been waiting 2 years for this date.
Yep.
Okay.
So I remember I called my dad, and I was like, my dad kind of put it into perspective for me. He's like, hey, dude, this is a job that you're doing, that you're at now, and then this is a career. This is something that you can retire.
Mm-hmm.
You have a pension, your kids, this, that, and the third. And so it's kind of up to you, but I'd take this avenue if I was you. So he kind of told me, like, hey, listen, he kind of pushed me without saying too much. He kind of pushed me to be like, hey, listen, do the Chicago police thing. So I was like, all right, cool. So I did that, went through the academy, police academy. The police academy was, it wasn't too tough, but the toughest part I would say was, obviously I'm not a big school guy. So the laws, learning the laws and all that, it was getting back into the mindset of being in school again and studying for this and doing this. There was still like prac app where you're gonna learn how to shoot.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn how to cuff. You're gonna learn how to drive. You're gonna learn how to handle, de-escalate situations, domestics, robberies, all that. But then you had to learn the laws, and that's when you had to focus into back to school, back to being in school and studying and flashcards.
You've been out of the game for a bit.
Right. So the academy was cool. I went through that, and then I got pushed to my first training district, which was the 15th district.
How is this? Is it a good district? Is it crazy?
15th district is rocking and rolling.
How?
It's the west side of Chicago, so you're gonna get a lot of drugs, pretty much any crime you can think of: robberies, burglaries, CSAs, which is criminal sexual assaults, carjacking.
So you're learning quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had an awesome FTO at the time.
Okay. What made him awesome?
He was old school, man. He was just like he knew how to, let's put it this way, he knew how to bend the rules but still stay in that
gray area.
Still stay in that area where you're still covering your ass.
Which I feel like that's what makes, people are probably going to argue this, but that's, to me, what makes a good cop, is because that's how you get police work.
100%.
True police work done. In certain scenarios and environments, you're not doing it in a rural area and pulling over somebody in there. But like, I feel like working in Chicago, you can't just be like, you can't just do what we expect.
You have to almost get on their, you almost got to meet them at their level.
Okay.
And you have to be able to not break the rule, but just bend it.
Okay.
Okay. Because that's I mean, I had an amazing FTO. And I could just, we talked off camera, and like he just taught me so much.
Yeah. So
I go into 15. I'm learning everything.
What's your first day like as a cop with your new FTO? District 15.
So my first day, I wasn't with him. I didn't get to him until, so you have to do a year of probation.
Damn.
Yeah.
Are you in the jail or what do you?
No, year of probation as far as like you can't get in trouble.
Okay.
So you go through the academy, 6 months, and then after that, you have a year where it's like you can't fuck up.
Really?
Yeah. You're at they call it, excuse me, at will employee, so they'll fucking fire you whenever they want to.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you get in any domestics off duty with your wife, your girlfriend, whatever,
Out.
gone.
Okay.
If you get a DUI, gone. No questions asked. If you get in a fight at a bar, at a club, gone. If you any complaint or disturbance or there's horror stories, guys showing their guns and like just
So if you hit the radar, you're done.
yeah.
Okay.
You got to stay underneath the radar,
Okay.
not like underneath it.
Okay.
And so that's a year long. So I didn't get with my real FTO. So my first day, if you're asking, or my first FTO. So my first FTO, I didn't get with him until about a week later.
Okay.
Maybe. So my first day was a carjacking.
Really?
First day. First day was a carjacking. And I'm in the wagon, which is the paddy wagon.
Like a van?
Yeah. And the call comes out, and the guy is literally, we're on Chicago Avenue, and the guy's coming up, and once the call comes out, the dispatcher says the call, he's literally passing us up at that time. So the dispatcher,
So you're just like, holy shit, there he is.
yeah, it was like a divine moment. I remember I was working with a female
Okay.
at the time. So she's like, hey, this is what you do, blah, blah, blah. I think we did a couple traffic stops. But this was like within the first like 2 or 3 hours of me working. So a call comes out. We did a domestic that day, but this was the one where like I got out it was on.
Okay.
So I get out the car. So first of all, the dispatcher says, this is a car, gives the description. Boom. I don't see it. She sees it. She sees in her rear view. She's like, I think we just passed it. Squad. She calls it. She's like, you have a couple more cars start coming our way. So I'm like, what do you want to do? She's like, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to turn around. I'm like, he's going to be gone. I was like, just let me out. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, just let me out.
This is your first day.
First day. This guy's in a car. I'm on foot. But he's in traffic.
Yeah.
Right? So I get out the car and I'm I get out the car and she just takes off. She's like drives off and she drives off and she does a whole U-turn, like a 3-point like U-turn, and turns on her sirens. And I'm like, well, she's trying to do that so everyone could get the hell out of her way.
Yeah.
So she could come back to where I'm at. By that time, I see the guy look in his rearview window, and he looks, and he sees me on foot, and I'm already like going in between cars, and he goes out the passenger seat and just books it.
Really?
Yeah, he takes off. He starts running. So I start chasing him, but I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, we got the car. Stay with the car. Should I chase him? But I'm thinking this as I'm running. So I hear her say, squad, my partner's running, this, that, and the third. Anyways, the dude jumps a fence, and he turns around. He's like, man, I don't got nothing on me, man. That's my cousin's car. I'm like, all right, dude. So I cuff him immediately, and I bring him back. And my partner at the time, she drove to go find me, so now she's gone. So now everybody's like coming out the woodwork.
Yeah.
They're like, why are you, arresting this guy?
Harassing him.
Not even knowing the full story of it. So I'm on my radio. I'm like, squad, can you just please send me a car over here to the gas station? I'll walk with this guy to the gas station. Can you please send me a car? I'm at the gas station over here. So finally, just send me a car, whatever. We get the guy on on his shirt. We charge him. And that was my first like real call on my first day.
Did it start to sink in yet? Like, holy shit, this is going to be out of control.
Not that day. The first day. No, I'm lying. The second day I'm working with my FTO.
Okay.
We're driving. We just finished eating tacos. So we're driving, and he goes, "Hey, dude, this is what we're going to do." He goes, "We're going to run some prostitutes that are on this street. They all got warrants." All right? So I'm like, all right, cool.
He just knows.
He knows them. So he goes up to the girl. He's like, "Hey, don't you got a warrant? Were you supposed to be blah, blah, blah?" But when we run a name check on her, she doesn't got a warrant. So we ran like 4 or 5 of them, right? So we're driving back towards the station, but not to the station.
Okay.
And we get a call that person just got shot, right? So we drive, and this guy gets shot right in the back of pretty much the alley of where the police station is. So we drive around. We get to the alley. When we get to the alley, we see 2 females, and they're like, "He's running that way." And we're thinking in our head, why aren't you chasing them? There's one girl with the body.
2 female cops or just
2
2
female
chicks?
cops.
Okay.
And they're both with the body.
And they're telling you guys he ran.
They're like, "He's running that way." They're like, "He's running that way." So we're like, this is all hindsight. I'm thinking about this. But at the time, I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, this is my second day with my FTO. So we're driving around. We can't find this guy. Like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 minutes pass by. And we go over the radio, and we're like, "Hey, squad, can you ask the caller who called out the person shot, can you ask, or no, we say, are there any more calls that came out for this?" And she goes, the dispatcher should have said this, but she didn't at the time. She goes, "Yeah, a person just said someone ran through her yard, and he's across the street, and he's on the porch, and he doesn't live there." I go, "Cool, put it in our box, we'll handle it." So we drive around to where this guy's at. Well, when we get to the house, I don't see anybody there. So I immediately beeline to this guy who's raking his leaves, and he kind of looks at me. He gives me the
really?
The guy's over there. And I turn around, and I see my partner at the time chasing this dude through a gangway. And the dude tries to climb over the fence, and my partner just goes with him through, like, tears down the fence, through the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Dude falls down, and falls down. We grab him, we cuff him, we flip him over. This dude is having an asthma attack. No shit.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, he's like, can't breathe. He's like, his face is turning all different colors. So my partner goes in his pocket, finds out he's got an asthma spray. So he gives it to him. The dude's like, pretty much can't even pick up his hands. So my partner gives him 2 pumps. Long story short, this guy dies.
Really?
He dies. Second day with my FTO. So 3 days before that, my FTO tased a guy who was fighting with the police because he had just swallowed dope. He was fighting with the police because the police were like trying to arrest him because he put some dope in his mouth.
Yeah.
He's fighting with the police. So my FTO comes on scene, and at this time there was only a certain amount of people that had tasers. Now the whole department has them.
Mm-hmm.
FTO gets there, tases the guy. He chokes. He dies.
So your FTO has 2 bodies in 3 days?
In less than a week. So this time he kind of like fucked him up because he was kind of like, so they usually give you like a couple days off when something happens like that, like 2 days, 3 days. So now they're like talking to him like, "Bro, you need like a week, bro. Like we need a
you need a breather."
Yeah. They put me with, and they used to do these round tables to where they take you and they take me, we're partners. They ask you certain questions, they ask me, and make sure our stories are good.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get there, when this guy is dying, my FTO is like, "Hey, just I'm nervous. This is my second day. Like, we didn't do shit wrong. Like,
Yeah.
we did nothing. We did everything by the book. We call the ambulance, and he's like, "Hey, dude, you gotta go talk to the dicks, the detectives." And I'm like, "That's what we call them, the dicks." No, it's seriously, we call them dicks. And
I've never heard anybody refer.
Never?
No.
yeah, we call them the dicks. You never
Okay.
heard that?
No,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
So
Okay.
he's like, "Hey, you got to go talk to the dicks." And I'm like, "All right." He's like, "Hey, just tell them what happened." I go, "Okay." That's what I was planning on doing anyways.
Yeah.
So I get with these old school coppers, and I get in the car. They're like, "Hey, kid, what do you want for your last meal?"
Really? You start shitting your
Yeah.
pants at this point?
I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Oh, dude, you killed a guy. Like, the guy died on your what? You're fucked. You're done. Like, you're done. That's it." And I'm like, they're like, "Hey, listen, Burger King gives us free Whoppers. We got you." So they stop at Burger King, give me a Whopper. I can't even eat.
Yeah.
So I get to the area to talk to the dicks, and I basically tell them exactly what happened, and boom, we're clear from that. So that was my whole time in 15. It was wild. It was crazy. Right before my probation is over, they send me to 16, which is night and day.
Really?
16 is police officers, firefighters, city workers,
Okay.
firefighters' kids, police officer kids.
Okay.
It's like night and day. It's like the west side of Chicago and the north side, like night and
Two
day.
different worlds.
Two different worlds.
Okay.
Now, I will say there's a lot of shit that you could get in 16, but it's like in 15, on the west side, you can almost walk out blindfolded and grab someone and they're dirty.
Really?
Yeah. In 16, you got to work for it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You got to do some serious police work
Okay.
to get some
So you're learning a whole other side of policing
whole other
now.
side of it.
Okay.
Whole other side of it. The whole other side of policing.
Well, so if you're in this now, I don't want to say upper class community, but if it's all cop kids and firefighters and all that shit, so now are you dealing with cops' kids? Are you arresting firefighter kids and firefighters?
Yeah, so we're dealing with that. We're dealing with the copper's kid who's drunk, firefighter's kid who's drunk, city worker kid who's drunk, domestics.
So how are you learning this policing? Because I don't want to say there's a code in, because I'm not speaking for cops because I'm not law enforcement, but is there a code when you know someone's kid, or is it by the book, or it depends on who you're with or the police officer?
So everything, how I used to do things is everything is based on my interaction with you.
Okay.
Okay. And there's this thing that with the police officers, where it's up to me if I want to write you a ticket.
Yeah.
It is. Now, if you're respectful and you know you did wrong or whatever, I can give you a pass. I'll be like, sure, no problem. You're not an asshole to me. Hey, listen, you ran a stop sign, or we're talking about traffic here.
Okay.
I'll be like, yeah, you know. But there's times where if I come and I'm interacting with you and you're a total jag off the top, then whatever I initially stopped you for, which is legit, now I'm gonna probably write you for it.
And anything else you could probably
And if you want to keep going, you know, but I always keep it just fair across.
For sure.
Like you're like, if you're having a bad day, don't have a bad day for these 5 minutes while I'm interacting with you, because it's gonna fuck up this whole thing. Like
I feel that's fair.
It's 100% fair, and anyone who says it's not, it's BS. It's
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. We're not. Listen, we don't make the law. You know, we just enforce it. We don't make it. All these rules, all this shit, that these are all lawmakers. If you want to change it, go out and vote.
That's, I feel, my biggest problem with people that are protesting everything that's going on now, and that, like, there's such a hatred for cops, which I get, because everything's filmed and all we're seeing is the negative side of it. But it goes down to if just being fair.
Yeah.
And you guys aren't writing the laws. You're not coming up with these laws, but people want to hate you for it because
I think
you're
a
just
lot of
enforcing the law.
I think a lot of the laws are kind of like stupid at times. You know,
100%.
but it gives me the right to stop you.
Probable cause. I mean, that's all you need.
I mean,
right?
listen, if
Like a tinted window. I think tinted windows
stupid.
is one of the dumbest.
Another one that I think is stupid is anything. I don't know if it's here, but anything that's hanging from your window, your rear window.
Yeah.
It's a distraction. Obstruction of view.
Yeah.
It's called. I can stop you for that. No seatbelt. Listen, if you want to go through the front window of your car, it's on you. I mean, I mean, but those are all reasons I can stop you.
Yeah.
And
you think a lot of those are written just for the advantage of cops?
I don't know.
Like, I mean, some graduating kid's tassel that's hanging out right then and there. Okay, you see some kid and you're like, all right, beat up car. That's all you need. I mean,
I never thought of it like that because I'm thinking of it of a law enforcement side. But maybe that's fair for.
How are you looking at it? I mean, is a dice hanging from that much of an obstruction?
Absolutely not. But here's the thing. Let's say I'm looking at a guy.
Okay.
Right. And this dude I seen him circle the block like 15 times. You know, This guy's either selling dope or he's looking at whatever. How am I going to stop you?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy didn't come to a complete stop at the stop sign.
It's that easy.
Now I walk up to the car. He don't got a seatbelt. He's got the graduation tassel hanging. That's 3 things already. Now, the first thing out of his mouth is, why the fuck did you stop me? What's your probable cause? It's like, hold on, dude. Here's how this interaction's going to go. I'm going to try to find out why you're driving around the block for the past 15, 20 minutes. Now, you don't have to tell me why. I'll just write you these 3 tickets, and we'll call it a day. So it's
give take.
It's give take. Let's meet each other right here. If you're on bullshit, I've done this a lot of times. If you're on bullshit, tell me you're on bullshit, and I'll be like, all right, cool.
Here's your ticket.
Here goes your pass.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about like bullshit.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Where I'm like, all right, I know. You know, I know you got something on you or whatever. At least you're honest with me. Listen, if I go through your car and I find it, now I'm gonna impound it because I'm giving you opportunity to come clean.
So were there times as you know when being in the field, are there times where you would come across people and they just admit having something on them and you just confiscate it and let them roll, or do you have to arrest them?
No. I don't even try to put myself in the situation. I like if I'm going to ask you, and there's a heavy chance that I kind of know you're gonna bullshit me.
I hear that a lot from cops.
Yes.
They know immediately if you're on it or not.
Because I'll ask you in other ways. I'll ask you like once or twice, like, hey, anything in this car you're not supposed to blah, blah. Oh, no, I'm good. You sure you got nothing on you? You sure? No, I ain't got nothing on me.
Don't people start reaching and like feeling if like when you ask, are there signs? What are you looking for?
Hands. Hands kill people.
Okay.
So I'm always watching hands.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hands are what's going to get you killed. It's not going to be nothing else.
Okay.
In order for that dude to get to a gun, a knife, anything, his hands have to get to it first.
So that's why it's so important.
I'm always watching hands.
Okay.
Where your hands are, how your hands are, what are you doing with your hands? If your hands like this, like I'm always like when I was doing street stops and traffic stops, I'm always watching this.
Okay.
That's why a lot of cops are like, hey, do me a favor, just keep your hands on where I can see them.
For sure.
Some guys like it outside the window, on the steering wheel, on top of the hood of the car, inside. But that's just so they can see this.
Are you looking for handshaking? So as a cop, and you're pulling somebody over, what are you looking for when you're obviously hands?
What am I stopping you for?
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
What's the you gotta paint a picture. What am I stopping you for?
I mean, like, what are tall tale signs that like you're going to dig a little bit? What is when you walk up to a window?
Okay.
What are signs that somebody's doing that you makes you trigger that little in your mind where you're gonna just dig a little
I have
bit more?
some ways, but I'll tell you some of the ways. But I would just ask you a bunch of questions.
Okay,
You know, now it's up to you if you want to answer them or not.
for sure.
But here's the thing: I already have enough to write you the ticket.
Which is
Which
why you pulled
is
over in the first
you can
place.
just be like, man, fuck you, pound sand.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you. No problem. Driver's license and insurance. Boom, write you a ticket for running the stop sign, eating the red light, whatever my initial probable cause stop for the stop was. Once I come up to the car, it's all based on the interaction. Now I'm gonna dig if you're kind of starting out up here with me.
Yeah, if you're escalated immediately.
Yeah. Man, what the fuck you stopping me for, man? I didn't do shit. You ain't even got probable cause. I've heard it all. What's your badge number? Dude, I haven't even said nothing to you yet. What you stopping me for? Can I get there? You know what I mean?
So the
Now now you brought it up here.
yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, this
we go.
I guess this is how this interaction is gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just being like, hey officer, hey, did I do anything? Yeah, you ran a stop sign, license, insurance. Man, I didn't even know. Here goes my license, insurance. I apologize. I didn't even know. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Now you might get a cop like me that'll be like, all right, man, it's all good. Let me just run your name, make sure you don't got no warrants. You be on your way. Or, man, dude, listen. You're gonna have to get this ticket. I'm not gonna write you for 2. Because you got this, you got that. There's a bunch of shit fucked up. Your tail lights off.
Cracked windshield. Yeah.
Everything. I'll just write you for no seatbelt or whatever,
Yeah.
which is going to get thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Really?
Yeah. In
Okay.
Chicago, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. But if you're like this, you're already starting off the wrong foot, buddy.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is, when being pulled over, don't come out the gate.
Just be
Name and badge number.
even if you'll run into some asshole cops,
for sure.
100%.
For sure.
Like if you're speeding and you're fucking running through red lights and they hit the lights and you still don't stop and finally you decide, all right, I'll stop. You'll run into a cop that's pissed off. Or you'll run into a cop that's having a bad day.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yep.
I used to tell people this all the time, like family and friends. I said, listen, even if you think the cop's wrong, just do what he's telling you to do. His badge number, his name, his star, all that shit's going to be on a ticket. Go and make a complaint.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you're going to win it. The moment you run your mouth, he's going to write you for this, write you for that, write you for this, write you for that. Even the most asshole cops that I've seen, now I'm just speaking on myself, even the most asshole cops somewhere will say, listen, this guy's got 5 things I could write him for, probably even impound his car. I'm just going to write him for 1 or 2. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I could write him for this.
Yeah.
Or I could write him for all of it.
How many people that you pull over, how many of them have warrants? I feel like when I watch Cops, every son of a bitch on that show has
So
a
for
warrant.
cops, that's like,
Don't ruin Cops for me. Don't tell me that shit's fake.
no. But there's 40 stops that happen before that one warrant stop.
Okay.
You know? So people just miss court sometimes and judge issues a warrant.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. You don't always have a warrant for something like a robbery, a homicide, or something like that. You might have just missed a court date, got a traffic warrant. That's it. Hey, listen, man, you got a traffic warrant. You got to come with us, get this shit situated, see the judge. They'll knock it down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you missed your court date. Man, I made that court date. Oh, well, hey, listen, you're going to have to deal with that with the courts, not with us.
How often, when people are like, I took care of it, how often was it actually taken care of, or is it never taken care of? I mean, have you
It's
ever
never taken care of?
Have you? So you've never.
I'm trying to think that it's like, I don't even think it's 50-50. A lot, because
I mean, do you ever bring anybody back and then they run them like, oh, it has been taken care of? Has it ever been a glitch?
yes,
Okay.
but
very rare.
Very rare.
So every time, like, I was there.
Sometimes the warrant's not, like, let's say if you got a warrant, it's not extradite. So let's say if he's got a warrant for Idaho.
Okay.
They're not going to extradite him on it. So it'll pop up on our thing, but they're not going to hold him for it.
Okay.
So that just means, listen, you're good here, but just so you know, you go to Idaho, you get stopped, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
You know, I've ran into that a bunch of times.
Which is so crazy to me that if you have
They're just not going to pay for it.
Oh.
You're not worth it. That crime to them. Now, if it's a homicide, a CSA, which is a rape, like something like that, they're gonna extradite you for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll get that a lot. So what was I? So yeah. So I went to 16, night and day, like I'm saying.
Yep.
Then a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, dude, my uncle is knows some guys. So here's how it works. I'm on probation. I got 2 months before I'm off probation. You're supposed to work with an FTO at all times. I go to 16. When I get to 16, I'm with another guy who's on probation with me. It's only they
So there's two probies together?
So listen. So I'm in 15. So while you're on probation, they can move you wherever they want.
Yeah.
Because you're on probation. Once you're there and you're off probation, they can't move you. You got to bid to another district.
Okay.
Okay. So right before it was time for me to bid, I had 2 months before I'm stuck in 15. They moved me to 16. So now I know I'm staying in 16. If I really wanted to, I could still my whole career there.
Yeah.
So they sent me with another one of my buddies that was in class with me. So we get there and we tell the timekeeper who writes the schedule, we're like, hey, listen, we were partners in 15. She's like, oh, okay. Has no idea we're two PPOs,
No.
probation officers.
No.
She puts us, we're partners, right?
No.
2 months on 2 months, and we're basically handling all these calls that are like, and all we did was like, hey, listen, call a sarge, a domestic with a firefighter and a cop, or a cop, beat the shit out of his kid or whatever, a domestic. Hey, Sarge, why don't you come over here to this job?
Oh, really?
What you want us to do? A lot of guys would be like, well, you can't do your job. Well, why, you know how to handle it. Well, I will tell them, F you. You know why? Because Chicago's different.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago's totally different. Chicago, since back in the day, has always been corrupt.
Okay.
Political, mob ties.
Yeah.
Like, listen, dude.
That shit still runs.
It still runs. Listen, let the sergeant handle it. Hey, Sarge, what you want me to do?
So
You want me to arrest him? No problem. Let's go.
So you're talking more on the blue on blue or any other first responders instead of just because I don't want to speak for law enforcement, but there's that unspoken code where some cops will just hook a cop up. It doesn't matter if it's your chief or not. They're arresting them, which is, I guess, when you say by the book, cool, right?
Yeah.
That's you're doing your job.
I don't have nothing against guys that do that either.
It's your job.
But there's no rule against me calling my Sarge and be like, hey, Sarge,
What do you want to do?
what do you think we should do? I had some sergeants to be like, hey, whatever you want to do. And I've had some sergeants to be like, hey, lock them up or get signed complaints and then lock them up.
Okay.
I've had both.
Okay.
So I can't knock when guys say, oh, the blue on blue. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not saying that. There are some guys that are never lock up a cop no matter what.
Yeah.
But there is nothing against, and guys, and I'll get pushback on this, there's nothing against asking the Sarge, hey, Sarge, what do you think I should do in this situation? That's it. All you're doing is asking.
Yep.
That's it. And the sergeant be like, hey, this is what I think you should do.
Yeah.
Okay. This guy's got more time on the job than me. Okay, maybe this guy knows this guy, whatever. But he's giving me advice. That's it.
Here's a question to go off of that. Let's say you do arrest another cop or a senior cop that's what's the backlash that comes with that? Is have you seen like repercussions? I mean, or does that show your department that you're that guy, and then everybody kind of, do you ever see any of that?
I'm afraid to say, but yes, I've seen both
Okay.
avenues of that. There was a guy in the district that I worked in that he would DUI anybody.
Okay. Which I'm one of those people. If you're, because I got kids on the road.
100%. Obama drove through. He would DUI Obama.
Yep.
He does not care who you are, what you do for a living, who you know. He doesn't care.
See, I agree with that.
And right. And then there's guys that push back on that. They were like, oh, watch this guy, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, you know. And I look at it two ways. I look at it the way you're saying, and then I look at it like you cannot, if you're targeting it, it's different. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're going out there saying, I'm just going to get coppers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm like,
but
you're going to let all the other DUI guys go by, then that's...
No, I have a problem there for sure.
Yeah.
You're just an asshole at that point. If you're,
right. But I've seen guys complain about it and been like, oh, man, this guy is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so the guy that I'm talking about, his niece...
Gave her a
DUI.
ticket?
No, DUI. Sheriff T-boned her and killed her.
Oh,
so he's got
okay.
the chip.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's
not letting nothing slide.
okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I worked with him once and he goes, I don't care. He goes, I'll DUI you. And I was like,
I respect that.
okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I mean, does the thin blue line thing exist? Yeah, but I think it's I don't think it's as, how can I put it? I don't think it's as crazy as like civilians might say it is.
I've heard guys say this, that a lot of law enforcement doesn't think the thin blue line exists at all. It's more of a civilian
do I think what I'm talking about is cops taking care of cops.
Yeah, exactly.
Like deals like that.
Yeah.
Do I think that exists in law enforcement around the world? Come on. You know, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Just in my experience. Do I think it's as big as they make it out to be? No. Because if a cop's doing, his job, he hates cops that are assholes.
For sure.
You know, if a cop's an asshole, that's our biggest enemy is that guy for being an asshole.
Yeah.
So,
because that's what the community's seeing and dealing with, and then you come along and you could be a very fair cop.
100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna match your energy. Let's chill right now and we'll just have this conversation. You'll be on your way. But instead, they get that guy prior, and he's just drilling and being that asshole and digging and just asking the questions and harassing.
Yep.
Because that's just who he is as a cop. Like,
100%.
yeah, those are the dudes that need to be winged out. And I feel those cops that are the asshole cops, they're the cop at that 5 to 8 year mark when they started to realize that being a cop wasn't for them because it was cool at first, and then the reality sets in of how shitty of a job it is.
Now they're miserable.
Instead of getting out, they stay in and it just
miserable.
chips.
Yep.
And then they become that cop that everybody hates and that even the guys in the department can't stand.
Yep. You're right, dude. I've worked with, I worked with some great officers, and I worked with some guys where I'm just like, please don't let me work with this guy again.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's the scary part.
My buddy worked with a dude that sat in a car for 6 hours in a parking lot.
Wouldn't do anything?
Coded out jobs.
What do you mean?
So he got out. He left roll call, got into the squad car. They went to go get coffee, came right back, parked in the parking lot for 6 hours. They only handled like 2 jobs the whole night. Every job they got, the FTO would just clear it out.
How do you get away with that?
Don't know. I honestly don't know.
This
is back before there was GPS on the cars.
Okay.
Cameras. Yeah, I'm talking.
Okay.
When I first got it.
Yeah.
So, This is going way back.
Okay.
You know, '08.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
I'd be sleeping all night too. I'd be.
yeah. So
I'm sure things have changed a lot.
oh, big time. Big time.
A lot.
For the good, you know, for the good, especially when
Are
it comes.
Are you pro body cam?
I'm not pro or any of that. I think it serves its purpose. I think it does. It does. Listen, if you're doing your job, it's not going to harm you at all.
So,
but then here's the thing: if I'm having a conversation, it has a buffer time. If I'm having a conversation and I'm talking about, you know, some girl I was with last night, or me and my wife having a problem, or, you know, and they pick that up, I think that's when it's like, you're kind of, that's a private conversation I'm having, me and my partner talking.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've heard those things played out in court, you know, just to be a-holes that, you know, state's attorneys will, you know, play the whole thing instead of just playing the pertinent part of it, you know.
Because that's where you hear a lot of kickback from cameras, from body cams, is that
when we first got cameras, dude, there was guys belly flopping to break them.
Really?
There was guys getting in chases
and then falling on their camera,
just to break them. Like straight belly flop, just like belly.
Oops.
Yeah, cameras were breaking left and right, just hardcore falls, like with all your gear on.
Yeah,
just cracking them.
No shit.
Yeah, at the beginning. Now it's already
you start with it.
It is what it is. They're not going nowhere. Now there's cameras everywhere.
That's my biggest thing is like I like you said, if you're doing your job as a cop, there should be no problem with a camera. But then you're hearing these guys like crack a joke, say some stuff, and now their departments are using that against them.
Or just talking to guys in a way where you have to get some. You have to get some through them.
See, people don't listen. Argue that though. This is a controversial topic.
If I talk to you, okay, you're different. So, but just imagine you don't live on the west side, and so if I'm talking to somebody that always has run-in with the police,
okay,
I'm not gonna disrespect them or violate any of their rights.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to be a different type of stern than I am with somebody else who I could say, hey, listen, I need to see your driver's license.
Okay.
No problem, sir. Here you go. Man, why the fuck you need to see my driver's license? I ain't showing you shit. All right, we'll play this fucking game. You know, I'll play this game. Listen, I get paid. No matter what happens today, I'm going to get paid. So I'll play this fucking game with you all day if you want to play this fucking game. You're going to give me your fucking license before this interaction's over. You're going to give me your license. So we'll stay here all day. We'll play this fucking game. But that talking to them might change their attitude.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
100% makes sense to me, but I've posted things like this topic before, and it is a very controversial topic in the police world because there's a lot of cops that claim in their whole career, and I call bullshit, as I'm not a law enforcement officer, but I call bullshit on it, that a cop can sit there and state that he can talk to Betty Boop the same thing that he's talking to some gangbanger thug.
No.
And they do like, I've spent a whole career and I've talked to everybody the same, because this is, I learned it on this podcast, is code switching.
Mm-hmm.
And where you're talking, you're going to talk to me different than you're going to talk to some thug, right? But there's people that claim,
I'm going to talk to my partner a different way.
You're going to talk to my wife in the car different than you're going to talk to me in the 100%.
Car. But let me be very clear. My first interaction, my initial interaction with you is the same.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on, guy? Whatever your name is, but I already ran your plate. Hey, what's up? Bam, whatever. Hey, man, listen, you ran the stop sign back there. Driver's license, insurance, man. That's it. Some to that aspect, Nothing where I'm coming out up here. Now, if you're coming out here, I have to match that.
For sure.
If I'm still like, sir, but I understand you're upset, sir, but we're not going to get anywhere with this shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to come out right here because this is my job to be a professional, to come out on this level. I'm hoping. Now, this is not a good interaction, right? Because the police is stopping you. No one ever calls the police for a barbecue.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always a domestic. There's always some crazy shit going on in your life where you're calling the police, where something just happened to you, trauma, whatever the case is. So I'm hoping that we can meet at this point. But I kind of know that if you bring it up here, I have to match that in order to get control of this situation. Somebody called me in this house because there's a domestic.
Yep.
Obviously, you two fuckers can't figure this out. So you called me, and I'm here now, and I'm going to make sure there's some type of control. So I can figure out what's going on with her, with you. Is there any weapons in here? Anything like that? I have to have control of the situation.
Absolutely.
Because there's no control. Because if there was, you wouldn't call me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you match that person, if you don't match that person, you're not going to get anywhere with that individual. They're just going to keep spinning you over and over and over and over again. And then eventually you'll learn eventually. There's guys that still stay here. And then, a couple months on the job, they're like, listen, motherfucker, now you're getting out of the car. Yeah. It is what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
So I did, so that was in 16. So my buddy's like, hey, there's a saturation unit coming up. There's an opening for a saturation unit.
What is that?
Do you want to go? Saturation basically is you are saturating, there's an area of 5 districts, and you're saturating wherever the highest crime is. Wherever the highest crime is, you're going to saturate that area.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So my buddy's like, hey, my uncle, he's got some pull. He could get us on a saturation unit. Now, we're fresh out of probation. Everyone that we were in the academy with are kind of still in the districts, learning patrol and all that shit. I'm like, yo, this is like a step up.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Boom, we get on saturation. Had a blast.
Why?
We're not handling jobs. So we're not tied to the radio. So if a job comes out, you have beat cars. So usually the beat cars are in the district, and when a job comes out, they'll be like, hey, at, Bam's residence, there's a domestic. So there's a beat car for this area that handles that job.
Okay.
Now, if something happens, he's going to call for backup. You might get a rapid response car that'll help out, or any other, beat car might come and assist with you, or saturation. So we kind of get to bounce around wherever the crime is. We kind of get to go wherever we want.
So you're putting yourselves in the eye of the storm when it comes to crime.
Yes.
Throughout the city. So wherever there's hot spots.
But they tell us, they're like, hey, listen, there's 5 districts. Okay. Out of these 5 districts, there's usually, not all of them are going up. And what I mean by going up is like, there's a gang war, there's narcotics through the roof.
So they'll flare. Like 15 will pick up for a little bit, then so on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So once we get into work, we're like, oh, okay. We get a bulletin that says, hey, last night there was a shooting on such and such block. These guys are probably going to retaliate. Make sure you guys are in the area in case something happens. So now we go to that area, we saturate it. Street stops, traffic stops.
It's more of a show of force. You're just there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we're stopping cars. We're getting contact cards, basically to show force and make sure nothing happens. Obviously,
shit happens.
So I did that for a while. Had a blast doing that. And my partner was like, dude, I want to go back to 15. I'm like, what? I was like, dude, we got it made here.
Yeah.
We got our own car. We go to lunch whenever we want.
So you're not like being micromanaged. We're
not chasing the radio. So when you got a B car, when you get a job on your PCAT, you got to go to the job. Whether it's a cat in a fucking tree, or whether it's a guy shooting up a dude in a car, whatever it is, you got to handle that job.
Yeah.
And you got to have paperwork.
Okay.
When you're on saturation, you're kind of like bouncing around like, hey, where do you want to go today? Oh, let's go to 14. There's a street festival over there. We could go have something to eat. Then we could, head over to 15. There's a block party over there. Something might kick off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my buddy wanted to go to 15 because he wanted to be assigned to it. So we were still assigned to 16.
Okay.
So if they were to disband that unit, they would send us back to 16. But he wanted to be assigned. So if they were to ever disband it, he could go back to 15. But the catch is if he goes back to 15, he stays in 15. He can't come back on saturation.
Oh, yeah. No.
He would have to reapply to it. And his uncle just got him there.
Yeah.
So he's probably not going to come back. So he decided to do that. And I stood on saturation. And then from there, I hated days. And I was working in a 3-man car. So I went to, it's called a area midnight tag team.
3 dudes in a car?
That was on saturation.
Oh, okay.
Then from there, I hated days. And my partner left. So I was like, can I go on the night saturation team? And they were like, no, you can't. It's already filled. But there's a spot opening up on the area midnight tag team. So, Dom's cousin, Anthony Torres?
No.
So he was on that team at the time.
Okay.
But he was on the West Side team. I was on the Area 5 team. So he basically, what you're doing there is you're dealing with search warrants. You're dealing with dope, kind of the same thing you're dealing with saturation, but now you're getting CIs, guys that are giving you information.
Okay.
That are telling you, hey, this guy's selling dope over here. Now you're building cases. Now you're actually writing up search warrants and arrest warrants and stuff like that.
What's it like working with a confidential or what do you call CI?
So I didn't. So on that unit, I was only there for a month.
Oh, okay.
And they disbanded the unit.
Ah, damn.
So I didn't get to build a. I had CIs when I went on to be on the task force.
Okay.
But when I was there, I didn't have CIs.
Okay.
So I was learning all this. Like I was like super green. Was kind of just rolling with the punches. Was excited to be on the team.
Yeah.
And they disbanded it. And when they disbanded it, I went back to 16.
Okay.
So I was in 16, and this is when I knew I was like, I can't stay here. I'm in 16, and at this time I'm bouncing around with different partners. My partner's back in 15, like I said. And I put for the 25th district. I didn't get it, so I stood another period, which is pretty much like a month, in 16. I hated it.
Why?
Here's the reason why I knew I couldn't stay there. I came in one day and I had like minimal activity. So I had like 2 traffic stops that I made and like 3 contact cards, which is like, if you're working on the West Side, they're going to be like, dude, that's nothing. Go back out there and give me some more activity. Like do some police work.
Mm-hmm.
But in 16, they don't call the police that much because it's relatively... pretty good neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pretty good neighborhood for the most part. There's a lot of burglaries, like garage burglaries and stuff.
Okay.
But you'll get your riffraff that
flow in, flow out.
in.
Yeah.
So, and I put down my activity, and this old timer, I heard him from the background. He's like, "Hey, slow down, kid. Save some of that for us." I was like, and I laughed it off. But in my head, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. That's activity to you guys? That's equivalent to being like a shitbag.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't do nothing today.
Yeah.
And you guys are telling me to slow down?
Because you're making them look bad.
So
that's a great...
This was again, I'm talking about a different era.
Yep.
Before the cameras and everything. But they were a slow district.
Got it.
And you bring in 2 or 3 movers, 2 or 3, parkers, maybe a contact card here and there, a week, you're fucking the man.
Really?
Yeah. So I would do like super bare minimum a day, and these guys were telling me slow down. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I gotta get out of here. Yeah. So I bid. So what happened was the districts open up again, and I bid to go to the 11th district.
Okay.
And the 11th district is the heart of the West Side. So that's like 15 is bad, and then 11 is like
The mothership.
the mothership.
Okay.
It's like everything I just mentioned, and like when it goes up, it goes up. Like there's summertime, there's shootings, there's drug transaction. I mean, it's everything that you would think police deal with, from domestics to dudes raping women, to carjackings, to burglaries,
On the daily.
to drugs, narcotic sales, shootings, stabbings,
Everything.
prostitution. You name it, was everything.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're stoked to be there.
So I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, this is what I asked for.
Yeah.
So I get there and I don't have a partner, and I'm like, oh fuck, this sucks. You know, I don't have a partner. So I basically meet my partner Jeff when I'm there.
Okay.
So I meet Jeff when I'm there, and he's in trouble already. So they have him work in the lockup. And I had a EGA on my vest, and I brought some guy to the lockup for something. And just this is the type of guy Jeff was. So when you're working lockup, you're the one that takes the prisoners in, you fingerprint them,
Okay.
you know. So he's like in trouble.
So that position is not a not sought out position, or what?
They took his partner and they moved his partner, I guess.
Okay.
And they separated them for whatever reason.
Okay.
I kind of know the gist of it.
Yeah, you don't have to get into that.
But they separated him, and his partner went somewhere else, and Jeff, obviously, they put him to work in the lockup.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, "This sucks." So I get there, I bring in a guy to get searched or whatever, and he gets there, and he's like, "Hey, dude, you were in the Marines?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh yeah, I was in the Marines too." He was with First Tanks, and he goes, just like this. He goes, "Dude, do you want to partner up?" And it's like, you don't really do that on a police department. You kind of work with guys, fill them out. And I'll be like, "Hey, bam, want to partner up?"
Yeah, yeah.
Because once you partner up with someone,
That's it.
and the timekeeper puts you guys together, your schedules are now together. So it's kind of a hassle to be like, all right, we're going to move Bam with this. Sometimes you could get 3-man cars to where on your 2 off days, I'm working with her for her 2 off days, or whatever the case is. We're all rotating. And then when I get my off days, it's you and her working. And when you're off, it's me and her working, and vice versa.
Okay.
So once they kind of lock you in to be partners, you're kind of stuck.
So if you get stuck with some cheese dick.
So I had never worked with this guy. I didn't even know at the time he was in trouble, nothing. But he was like, we were talking, and he was like, "Hey, do you want you got a partner?" I was like, "No." He's like, "You want to partner up?" I was like, "Let me get back to you on that." So I was like, that's weird. So I tell some guys, and some guys are like, "Oh yeah, Jeff's cool, whatever, blah blah blah." Anyways, like 2 or 3 days later, he comes back to work. He had the next couple of days off, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, let's partner up." He's like, "All right, cool. I'll talk to the timekeeper." He was just trying to get out of prison.
Okay.
He was in trouble.
This is to get back out on
hindsight. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's kind of using me, you know. So I'm like, I was his scapegoat. So, and I love the dude, man. And so I partner up with him. We start working, and dude, we have a blast.
Just bromance.
Like, dude, it was just like he knew what I was thinking. Like the story I was gonna tell you earlier. Like we had this one dude and he was fast. Jeff was really fast. We had this one dude one day where we find this dude, and Jeff was really smart with who had warrants.
Okay.
He knew everyone who had warrants in it. So he would run names right before he got to work, or he would know all the players, and he'd be like, "Oh, this guy's got a fucking warrant." I'd be like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Dude, this guy's got a warrant." I'd be like, "Fuck it, let's go." So he would run names, and he would just circle where they hang out.
And just wait.
And just like, so he locked on with this guy.
Okay.
And this guy takes off. Jeff takes off, loses him. Right? So this is all in one day. Loses him. He's like, fuck. He's like, let's go back to his house. So we go back to his house, knock on his door. No one, of course, is going to let us in. So we're looking for this guy, whatever. We don't find him. We get a couple jobs. We're answering our jobs still, our calls. A shooting happens. We go to where the shooting's at. When we're there, everyone's crowded up trying to look at what's going on. And Jeff sees him again. He's like, there he fucking goes.
No, the same dude.
Same dude. And I'm like, he goes, you see him? He goes, don't look. And I go, yeah, I see him. He goes, he's going to fucking run. I know he's going to fucking run. I go, yeah, he just ran from you the first, like an hour ago. Of course he's going to run. So he starts trying to hide behind cars, like walking like this.
Dips.
Dude dips on him, right? Takes off.
So this is twice in the same day. This dude just run from you guys.
So I get back in the car. We had this thing where I would follow him. When he gets tired, he'd jump in and I would start running.
Okay.
So we kind of like switch on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So dude loses him. He's like, fuck. He comes back to the car. He goes, this motherfucker. He goes, let's go to this other dude's house that has a warrant. I'm like, all right, bet. So we're driving around. We come back to the same spot that he first saw him in, which was a corner store, and he sees him again. The guy doesn't see him, though. The guy's like facing a different direction. He's like, dude, stop the car here. We're in a blue and white car, like a police squad car. Like, the whole neighborhood could see us, except for this guy.
Really?
Yeah. So he sees him. He's like, dude, I'm getting this fucking guy. So he takes off his vest. Yes. So he takes off his vest. I'm like, bro, chill. It's not that serious. He's like, I'm getting this fucking guy. He's not getting away today.
Not 3 times, no.
Not 3 times. So he takes off his vest. I'm like, oh, man, this is such a bad idea. It's summertime, the middle of the West Side. I mean, the corner we were looking at, there was maybe 60, 70 fucking people outside. And I'd say a quarter of them probably got pistols on them.
I was going to say, what's the percentage you guys are carrying?
Yeah. So he's like, dude, I'm going to get him. I'm like, all right, do me a favor, bro. At least keep your radio on you. He's like, yeah, I got you. So I turn off the lights and I fucking slam on it. I get to the corner. I slam on the brakes. 2 or 3 dudes start running. He's one of the guys. So the other 2, 3 dudes are running because they probably got a pistol. But we're not even worried about that, which is crazy. So Jeff gets out the car and starts running. His vest is in the car because he took off his vest. So I slam on the gas, so I'm going to cut this guy off. So I try to cut him off, and as I cue the radio, I hear the radio next to me.
He didn't take his radio?
He forgot to take his radio.
Oh, my God. You're like, this dude.
So I'm like, now I'm like, his cell phone's on the charger in the car. I'm like, now I got to find this guy, right? So I drive around for about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. I finally see him coming out of the alley. He's out of breath. He's like, he fucking got away again.
This dude dodged 3 times in a day?
3 times.
Did you ever end up finding this guy?
2 days later, we found him. So 2 days later,
this is the worst criminal ever.
2 days later, we show up to his house, and he's in the front, and we shine the light on him, and Jeff is just sitting in the car like this with his leg up. He's like, dude, please come over here. He's like, please don't make me get out of this car and chase you again today. He's like, man, I took care of that. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Come over here. Get over here now. So the dude walks up to the car, and Jeff cuffs one of his hands and just holds him there. And we just run his name, and lo and behold, he did. He had a warrant, and he got it cleared up. He must have knew, like, this fucking guy's going to chase me for a week, dude. Let me just get this shit situated. So that's the type of guy Jeff was. Like, he was
Shit.
So we had some great times. We also had this. So 2 days before our incident, what happened was we were driving down this street, and we see this kid, and like I said, Jeff knows all the players. He knows who's running the tip, which is like who's selling, He knows all the guys that are selling. He knows like spots where they put it at.
Yeah.
So he was smart when it came to all this shit, and I was kind of just like piggybacking off of him and learning it. So he basically, the guy sees us, he walks in back of this van, and we're following him like this. We're like right side by side with him. There's a van right here. As we come out this side, we're going to get out the car and grab him, but he stopped right here to hide behind the van, so he doubled back and started running.
Mm-hmm.
So we start chasing this guy. We get to each mouth of the alley, and now he's kind of like
trapped.
Yeah. So he decides to go towards Jeff, and Jeff just grabs him and just slams him into the side of the brick wall to try to get him to, get down. Finally gets him down. This dude ended up putting the dope in his mouth, all the bags that he had. So he put it in his mouth, and I remember Jeff's like, dude, spit it out. Spit it out. And the dude spit out only 2 bags. So we recovered it right away, and we pick him up and we cuff him. We're gonna lock him up. This kid's 17.
Okay.
And he's chewing on this shit still because he still has the rest of the shit in his mouth. Right. So we're talking to him. We're like, dude, listen, we already got 2 bags. You're gonna go to jail for this.
Don't die.
Just spit it out. It's not worth it. He's like, man, I'm not spitting it out. And we're like, dude. So thank God Jeff was thinking this day. He's like, dude, let's take him to the hospital. Because once you take him to the hospital, it's like you're there all day.
Oh, so you get to skate the rest of your shift?
Well, no, you don't get to skate, but you got to stay there the whole time with him.
Okay.
Because he's your arrestee.
Mm-hmm.
So you're staying there the whole time.
Okay.
So we're kind of like, fuck, we're going to have to be with this guy all day. Basically, long story short, we get there, and the doctor sees this kid. He's chewing on it like it's fucking bubble gum. The doctor tells him, hey, spit it out. He's like, I'm not spitting it out. He's like, dude, the doctor told him, spit it out. He lied about everything, about his age, his name, and everything. He was really 17 years old. So he's bullshitting. He's giving him the runaround, whatever. Finally, he goes, man, I'll spit it out, but the only way I'll spit it out is if they let me flush it. And at that point, we're like, we already recovered 2 bags. It was 2 or 3 bags. We're like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Go, yeah. So he spits it out, and he's still cuffed, so he flushes it really quick with his shoe. He flushes the toilet. Whatever. He signs a refusal to be treated. Right? So they're like, okay. So they let him go.
Oh God.
So we get him to, so he spit everything out. So we get him to lockup, and we're knocking out the arrest report and the case report, whatnot. And he's super pale and dehydrated. So he's like, man, can I get some water? And we're thinking yeah, we just chased you for 2 or 3 blocks, but that was maybe an hour, 2 hours ago.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll get you some water. So we got him some water. We got him 2 cups of water. He swallowed it. Finally, we're looking for his name. We can't find him. And at this point, we're like, listen, once your prints come back, it's going to tell us what your name is anyways. So if you want to be a John Doe, it's just going to be longer for you anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So he lies about his age. He lies about his name. Whatever. We send him back to lockup. And when he gets to lockup, he's there, and we go about our day. So we finish our day. We go home. We were working on midnights, and Jeff calls me at 7 in the morning. He goes, hey, dude. I go, what's up? He goes, you know that kid we brought into lockup? I go, yeah. He goes, he just died. I go, what? I go, what kid? I go, the kid we brought in that we took to the hospital? He's like, yeah, he just died. He OD'd. Because while he was chewing, it was breaking up in his stomach, all the bags. And he goes, and they're telling us that we don't have paperwork on him. I'm like, well, that's bullshit. I mean, there's a camera of us bringing him into the hospital, taking him out.
Yeah.
Well, he lied about all this shit. So when they put his paperwork together, they didn't put his paperwork together with the prints that came back with his name. So they sued us. They sued the department, sued everybody. And that was a whole ordeal. And that was 2 days before shit that happened to us. But they sued us, and we go to you know, to court for this, and they're like, okay, listen, the city's willing to settle with this, for like $150,000. The family was suing for like $6 million or something like that.
And they're going to settle for $150,000?
No, the city's saying this is the most we'll give them. But in our head, we're thinking like, why are we even giving them anything?
Why does he rate anything?
I go, last time I checked, we didn't put nothing in this kid's mouth.
Uh-huh.
We did everything correct. We took him to the hospital, which thank God Jeff decided, because normally you'd be like, you don't want to spit it out? We'll just knock out this arrest report you spit.
Yeah.
You know? But we did everything. Cross the T's, dot the I's, everything by the book. And the city comes back and they said, oh, we'll think we'll settle with them if they're willing to take $100,000. And we're like, why? Why are we even settling? Anyways, the family settled for like $175,000, from $6 million to $175,000. But the city paid out on it.
Mm-hmm.
Moral of the story is like, why?
Yeah.
You know, there's no reason why we should even been.
That's wild to me.
That. It's insane, and their reasoning is it's costs more money
to fight it
mm-hmm. than to just
make it go away.
Just make it go away.
Yeah, I mean that's the case a lot of times. These big corporate companies are like, just give it to them.
Yeah, they're
they
career
don't
criminals.
They don't want the publicity. They don't. Yeah, 100%.
So
walk me through the day that you and your partner got shot.
So we're working 14 years ago today.
Yeah, today's your live day.
Yeah. So we're working a 06 car, which is basically like plain clothes.
Okay.
Unmarked car. And we're driving, we're still in the same area. We're in the 11th district, and we're on a street called Pulaski. And as I'm driving. As we're driving, we pass by this alley, and I glance. When I glance, I see these two guys, and one guy serving the other guy, which is basically one guy selling the other guy dope. And I pass up the alley, and I tell Jeff, I go, man, I think this guy's serving this guy in the alley. We were on our way to the district to get some like ticket books or something. I forgot what we were getting. And Jeff's like just chilling, laying back in the car. And he's like, how many guys? I was like, just two guys down the alley. So we bust a U-turn, and we go down the alley. Well, when we get down the alley, there's only one guy there. So in my head, I'm like, fuck, this guy saw us. Like, he must have saw us the first time we passed by and took off. Well, we keep driving down the alley, and the guy now is on my side, and when I pass him up, he's kind of just stopped in the alley. I pass him up because I'm like, this guy doesn't got shit on him. The guy that we want with all the work,
gone.
He's gone. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I drive off, and I look in my rear view window, and I see him put something in his sock. So when I see him fixing his shoe and putting something in his sock, and I tell Jeff, I go, hold on, dude. So I slam on him. I step on the brakes. I'm like, I think this guy's got the work on him. Jeff's like, think so? I go, yeah, dude. Jeff's, he's like chilling on his phone. He's like, you think so? Like, not even like in another world. I'm like, yeah, dude. So this guy starts walking towards us. So as he starts walking towards us, which is crazy, you know.
Because that doesn't normally happen.
No.
Okay.
So he's walking towards us. So I tell Jeff, I go, hey, let's talk to him. So he walks on the passenger side of the vehicle, and Jeff calls him over to the car. This guy's so comfortable that he kind of leans up into the car with his hands. Mm-hmm. That's how comfortable he is at this point. So you want to talk about lackadaisical? That's exactly what we were.
Okay.
We were, at that point, he painted the picture of like, I ain't got shit, dude.
So you let your guard down because of his posture and body language and everything.
Yeah. 101 things you don't do.
Okay.
You know, no matter what. And we kind of like were really lucky because this dude could have blasted us right in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
So Jeff's asking him questions. He's like, hey, dude, where do you live? This, that, and the third. And finally, he starts stumbling with his address. He doesn't know where he lives. So I nudge Jeff, and I'm like, this guy's bullshitting. How do you not know where you live? You know? So Jeff's like, all right. So I go, let's check him. So Jeff's like, all right. So Jeff gets out the car. He was leaning in the car window. Jeff gets out the car. He actually lets Jeff get out of the car. So Jeff gets behind him, grabs him by his shirt, and tries to, at this point, put his hands on the hood so he could go through him. So we used to have this thing where, like I told you, if he takes off, I drive. Once Jeff gets tired, he gets in, he drives, I run. So I still had it in, I had my foot on the brake, but I still had it in drive. Because I was waiting for Jeff to put his hands down, and I thought Jeff was going to cuff him immediately. Mm-hmm. But Jeff wasn't spinned up to what I was seeing. So Jeff did everything that he would normally do, but he didn't see what I saw.
What did you see that was so different?
Well, what I was, like I told you, I saw them in the alley. Jeff didn't see them.
Okay.
We went down the alley. He saw the one guy, but he didn't see him put some in his sock.
Yep.
So all those things, I'm telling this to
Little
Jeff.
checks for you.
Yeah, I'm telling this to Jeff, but Jeff is like handling it still as if it's almost like if it's brand new.
Okay.
So he tries to put his hands on the hood to probably hold him and go through him and maybe cuff him. Once he does that, the fight's on. This dude launches an elbow at Jeff, and at that time, I'm like, fuck, here we go. We're about to tee off on this guy for a couple bags of whatever. So I throw it in park immediately. So I get out of the car, and they are, I'm not even joking, they're probably from this computer to about your window right here.
Okay.
And now I'm coming from this side, from the driver's side over to where the passenger side is. And Jeff's at this time still fighting with him. And as I'm running towards him, like super close, like probably this close, I see him reach and in one motion lift up his shirt and try to grab. He's got a pistol and try to grab it all in one motion, and he doesn't. And then on the second try, he grabs it and he fires. He lets off 3 rounds at me. And he shoots from here to probably the window. And he hits me once in the arm. That's still in there. The other one totally missed me. And then one grazed my head.
Really?
Yeah. This is all while Jeff still has him. So he's shooting with one hand like this.
At you?
At me.
And where's Jeff? So if you're him.
So Jeff is trying to get his arms like this wrapped around him.
So is Jeff behind him?
Jeff's behind him.
And he's shooting at you while Jeff's got him behind.
Jeff's trying to get both hands around him. This hand gets free. So Jeff just has this hand like this.
Okay.
And he's shooting like this because I'm running in an angle now. And after the first one hits me, I fall down to right in back of where Jeff's at. And in all one motion, he fires a total of 4 shots. So he shoots. So he gets this arm loose from Jeff. Jeff still has this arm. He fires 3 times at me. And basically, I remember Jeff telling me, I think by the first or second shot, Jeff is kind of like pushing off now to grab his weapon. He turns around just in a motion like this and lets one off. At that time, Jeff happened to turn his head and it hit him right behind the ear. This bone right behind the ear. And it stood in there for his whole time, lodged in the back of his ear. So,
what caliber?
22.
Oh my God, did you know immediately that you were hit?
I knew I was hit, but I thought it. To be honest, the adrenaline. I thought it was like a BB gun or something.
Did you feel it hit your head?
I felt it. I felt it hit my head, and I felt it hit my arm.
And you thought it was like a pellet gun?
I was like, this fucking guy shot us with a BB gun. I remember, like, I can't believe this fucking guy. Like, we're really gonna fuck this guy up now. I was so pissed off. I was like, a BB gun, really?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. And so once he turns and hits Jeff falls down.
Did Jeff fall as in stumble, or he fall like lights out fall? Because there's a difference.
No, he didn't fall lights out. Okay. He stumbled and like he's got a bullet right here.
Yeah.
So he like stumbled and fell, and where I was at, I was right behind him. So he was right, probably where you're at, facing that way, so and I'm this way.
So did you see this guy's pistol come over?
No.
Okay.
So the reason why I know he did that is because Jeff's story makes sense, because I fell on the third shot. I fell right behind Jeff.
Okay.
So when when this one, I don't know if this one hit me second. I don't remember, but either it was a second or third shot that hit. First one grazed me. Yeah. For sure. And I still have the scar on my head. It grazed my head.
Really?
That one I felt, and then the other one, either it was this one or it missed me, but there was 3 shots total. Yeah. I fell, and Jeff fell after he got shot, and Jeff gets on one knee, and he fires off 2 shots. And the guy takes off like a bat out of hell down the alley, and the round hits him in his forearm.
Oh, so Jeff got around in him.
He got around in him.
Okay.
So we're down. I'm like this. I'm like, this fucking guy. Like, ooh, when we get this guy, because now I know how serious it is, because Jeff just shot.
Is this the first time that you've been in like a shooting like this?
On the police department, yeah, that I've ever like used my weapon on the police department. Yes, first time ever. So I'm looking at it like, oh, we got to answer for this, and I'm still thinking in my head, as crazy as it sounds, I'm like, this fucking guy shot us with a BB gun, and we're gonna kill him. Jeff's probably gonna kill him, or Jeff shot 2 times.
Did you know that Jeff hit him, or did that come after?
No, okay. That came after.
Okay, so you just think he got away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff said that he saw him jump. I didn't see that.
Okay.
Now when you open your door in the gangway of the alley, there was not that much room, so I'm in back of Jeff, so I can't even fire, because Jeff is like, from here to this wall, you're in front of me, the guy's running that way. You're right in front of me. I'm probably this close.
Yeah.
But we're both facing that way.
So he's just blocking.
So and he's on one knee. So he's in an angle.
And you're laying on the ground at this point?
And I had already taken a knee, and I'm down.
Okay.
So I get up, and I grab Jeff, and I pick him up, and we start chucking down the alley. And we're calling it out on the radio, and I remember this dude gets to the mouth of the alley, and he makes a right. And when he makes a right, Jeff's pretty fast, and he's running with a bullet in his head, and I'm running with a bullet in my arm. And we get to the mouth of the alley, and we turn the corner, man, and I'm not even lying, there's 150 people, 170 people outside. Summertime.
Oh.
Block party. There's tons of people out.
So he's gone.
So he disappeared into the crowd. So Jeff immediately was going to run into the crowd.
With a bullet in his head.
This
is wild that... Okay, sorry, continue.
So we both get to the mouth of the alley, and I remember I told Jeff, I was like, dude, come back. I was like, we're not going over there. Like, there's got to be at least 10 guns. Like, we're not going to come out.
And both of you have bullets in you at this point. Like,
at this point, yeah.
Let's not kick another hornet's nest.
Right. So we call it out. A squad car flies down the fucking street. You see me on camera. I'm trying to wave him down. He gets there. They call it out. So I thought Jeff got grazed in the head. So I'm like, squad, he's got a graze wound. And Jeff's like, dude, there's a bullet in my head. I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm talking to you and you got a bullet in your head. There's no way. It's not mathing, bro. Mm-hmm. There's no way. If you have a bullet in your head, like, you're dead. I go, that grazed you. He's like, no, bro, it's in my head. And there was no blood. There was no blood coming from his head.
Are you bleeding?
I was bleeding. My shirt was full of blood. This had blood on it, but I didn't think I was shot. I didn't think I had a bullet in the head because I was touching myself like no.
But you can feel it, obviously.
But I could feel that there's a scrape here for sure. And I looked and there was blood. My hand, I knew, and I looked at it once, and it freaked me out. So I was like, I'm not going to look at it again because I don't know how bad it is, right?
Okay.
I wasn't even thinking about tourniquet or nothing, dude.
Really?
Nothing.
That never crossed your mind?
Out the window, dude.
Hilarious. Even with all your Marine training, never a tourniquet?
Not at all, dude. I'm like, it's going to fucking bleed out. It's going to bleed out.
I'm going to die.
Yeah. So so Jeff's like, he's telling me, he's like, no, dude, I got shot in the head. I go, Jeff, you're good, bro. You're going to be good. You didn't get shot in the head. And he knew it. He knew he had got shot in the head. And we get to, like I said, we get to the mouth of the alley. A squad car comes, picks us up. We jump in the back of the squad car, and that was almost like bumper cars because you got all these different units now rushing to the scene.
Yep.
And you have a squad car that's trying to get out of the scene.
Okay.
And all these squad cars are coming to the scene, lights and sirens, blue lights. It's, 10 o'clock at night. It's summer, fucking 98 degrees outside. Everybody's outside, and we're flying down the highway trying to get to the hospital.
Yeah.
So we finally get to the hospital, and we get to the hospital, and there's a sea full of cops there. It's like every department you can think of. Even suburban departments are there.
Really?
Yeah. Support was crazy. And we get there, and I remember laying down, and I remember I told the doctor, I'm like, Doc, do I got a bullet in my head? She's like, I don't know. We got to do an x-rays. I go, bullshit. I go, you see this shit every day. Do I have a bullet in my head? You know if I got a bullet in my head. She goes, I could tell you have a bullet in your arm. We have to do an x-ray to see if you have a bullet in your head. And I remember I told her again, I go, you're not going to fucking tell me, but someone in this hospital is going to tell me if I got a bullet in my head. She's like, calm down. And then I find out later on that so at the time, my daughter's mom and my mom, how they found out.
Were they at the block party?
No, they weren't at the block party. So my mom gets a phone call. This is the part that, like, I can't even imagine. But she gets a phone call from the police department, and this is the only part that I would say, like, this is fucked up. She gets a phone call from the police department, and they say, hey, is this Linda? She's like, yeah. She's like, your son's been shot in the head. We're going to send a squad car to come pick you up. And she's like, before she can even say, she like couldn't even talk. So immediately she gets on the phone, calls my daughter's mom. Mm-hmm. My daughter's mom, at the time my daughter was, how old was my daughter? She's like 3 years old.
Okay.
So they call my daughter's mom. Her mom was visiting. She starts bawling. My daughter starts bawling because she sees my mom
freaking
out. So they fly to my mom's house. My daughter's mom comes to my mom's house, and they all get in the car and they come to the hospital to come see me. And that whole time, they didn't tell her if I was alive or not, anything. So they don't know. They genuinely don't know. But that was fucked up. The best way to handle that would have just been, listen, there's an incident. Your son was shot. We don't have too much information, but we are sending the squad car to come pick you up and take you directly to the hospital. But your son's been shot in the head. We're sending the squad car to come pick you up.
What's crazy to me is that, especially a Chicago police department, you're not the first cop that's been shot. How do they not have a protocol and like a procedure where it's just standard?
I don't think they do.
Because you hear this a lot. Like TJ that we had on.
Mm-hmm.
His wife's finding out from Facebook posts. And like people like, hey, we heard about your husband. She's like, what do you mean? Like they didn't even reach out to her. Yeah. It's like you think it would be just a standard SOP. Yeah.
Hey, well, they reached out to her. But it wasn't.
Not the most tactful way.
No, not tactful at all.
That's wild. So they just call your mom, tell you you've been shot in the head.
Your son's been shot in the head. We're sending a car for you. Yeah. So we get there and do the support. Like I've this is the one thing I will say. Like the police department, Chicago Police Department, I base shit off of my experience.
For sure.
And the support was 100% there.
Good. Good.
A lot of guys reached out. At the time, the superintendent, which probably half or maybe more than half of the police department don't like him, Gary McCarthy, he was a superintendent at the time. I believe we were the first officers shot under his command. He was awesome.
Good. That's what you want to hear.
Yeah, he called us once a week. The mayor called us a couple times. And then I remember McCarthy told us, he's like, hey, listen, when you guys get back to work, call me. We're going to take care of you guys. And I was like, roger that. I didn't know what that meant. I was like, all right, whatever. So I talked to a bunch of old school guys. They're like, dude, you're going to have your pick of where you want to go.
Oh, district-wise?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, really? They're like, yeah, bro. You took a bullet for the city. Fuck yeah. You're going to go to any district you want.
Where'd you want to go?
Well, my FTO was like, no, dude, pick a unit. Don't pick a district. He's like, you want to push another B car somewhere else? Fuck that. He goes, pick a unit.
Oh, that's that old school right
That's
there.
the old school mentality.
That's years on the force.
So I talked with Jeff and we kind of figured out, we were like, dude, I don't know how this shit works. Like, we're still in recovery. I'm still going through therapy for that.
Let me interrupt. Therapy. When did you find out that Jeff actually had a bullet in his head?
At the hospital.
And what was your...
So backtrack. While we're in the hospital, they had the scene blocked off. And they're like, listen, this is going to help the case. But we need to, if you can, only if you can, we need you to come back out to the scene with us.
The same day?
Same day. Like 2 hours later.
Wait.
Yeah. Dead serious.
So you guys get shot, rush to the hospital, and now they're calling you to come back because I get the forensics and I get they want everything fresh.
Dude, like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. 2 hours later, I got a bandage on my arm right here. I got this taped up. I got I look like the fucking Taliban. And here's the kicker. I got a hospital gown on still. Shit you not.
You went back to the scene of the crime scene of the crime.
So I had here's the best part. You
had your boots on.
No, I had the hospital socks. Hold on. So these guys, first of all, the detectives on this, badass.
Okay.
They're awesome dudes.
Old school dudes.
Those guys, man, I have the utmost respect for them. And those guys work that case, and they are some of the best police officers. You want them to handle any shooting you're involved in.
Okay.
Awesome dudes. So I get in the car with my socks on, hospital gown, Taliban wrapped head because I got my shit still bleeding, wrapped arm, and they're driving me back to the fucking scene. As I'm driving to the scene, they're like, all right, they bring me into the scene. I get there, they're like, hey, listen, we just need you to tell us what happened, step by step by step by step by step, so we can tighten this shit up.
You're standing in a hospital gown.
So I'm in the back seat of the squad car, and I'm about to get out. They're like, fuck, you don't got shoes? I'm like, no, I don't have shoes. They're like, all right. So they leave the detective that drove in the car, and they gave me his shoes. And he's like a size 14, right? I can't make this shit up.
You can't make this up.
He gives me these. So he's a tall dude.
Okay.
I'm tall too, but he's like massive. He's like fucking 6'7", 6'6".
Okay.
And he's got a size 14. I'm a size like 11 and a half, 12. So I got these. So he gives me his dress shoes. All the detectives, all the dicks are like suits and ties.
Yeah.
So he gives me these dress shoes. So I'm in hospital socks, dress shoes with a hospital gown. And I'm walking them through the scene. And I walk them through the scene and tell them what happened. They're like, awesome, thank you. Boom, send me back to the hospital. I get back to the hospital. They release me a couple hours later.
Okay.
Gave me some pills and all that shit. So they end up catching the guy.
How long after?
Total time about 3 weeks later.
Really?
Yeah, and he's shooting dice in the park.
How did you guys, I mean, did you identify, like, how did they know it was him? Like, was there informed to people? Because obviously
there was some
informants.
There was some informants, yeah.
So people started coming out and shit?
There was some informants, and also
detective work.
Real detective work, old school detective work.
Okay.
And they realized that there was a camera that was on the building that when they first checked it, they realized that the camera didn't show shit. So their CI started telling them, hey, listen, that guy ran into that building. They're like, dude, we checked the cameras on there. Well, they call back the building manager. They're like, hey, listen, do you got any other cameras anywhere else? He's like, no, but he goes, I don't know if they told you the first time, but these cameras are on a 3-hour delay. So they're like, great. So they go back 3 hours later, and they match it with the time that our call came out, and it shows the guy. So here's the part where they show the guy in there, and he's reenacting everything with people that are in the vestibule where he's at.
So he's like telling people what happened.
He's telling people he's going like this. He's throwing the elbow back. He's telling all these guys that are in the hallway of this apartment building. So the reason why he ran into that building is he has a buddy. His girlfriend lives on the top floor, and he knew his buddy was there that day. So he runs up to the top floor. He gets up there. The girl's mom answers the door, and he's like, she sees that she's sweating, and he's like, hey, is such and such here? She's like, yeah. He's like, okay. So she calls. She doesn't bring him in right away, but she calls him to the door, and the dude comes to the door, and he says, man, I just shot 2 white dudes. So on the west side, if this is what they say, on the west side, if you're not black, you're white.
Okay, yeah.
So the dude's like, what? So the lady, which is crazy that she even allowed it, she's like, oh, you shot 2 white guys? She's like, okay, come inside. Right?
Oh, so the dude that shot you was black?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the lady was like, you shot 2 white guys, come inside. Right. So the guy goes inside. They give him a glass of water, and as soon as he drinks the water, he throws up.
Adrenaline dump,
nervous, everything. So he goes into the room. They give him a fresh pair of clothes. He goes into the room, and he tells his buddy in his girlfriend's room that he goes, man, I think I shot 2 cops. And the mom overhears that, and she's like, what? She goes, you shot 2 cops? She's like, you got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we don't want that heat.
2 white guys is cool. 2 cops, I don't know.
Culture.
Doesn't make sense.
Culture.
So she let him in after
Yeah.
he said he shot 2 white guys, but 2 cops. And now you're crossing the line.
Yeah.
So she tells him, hey, listen, you got to go. So he changes his clothes. Boom. He takes off and he leaves.
So wasn't he shot, or did they not see any of that at that point?
In the video also, he keeps going like this. And he keeps rubbing it. He keeps going like this. So he did have
Got grazed?
he had a graze wound.
Okay.
And when they finally caught him, they had the forensic person looked at it and they were like, yeah, that's from a gunshot wound.
Okay.
You know, that's burning and everything. That's from a gunshot wound. So yeah, they caught him. You know, I want to say 3 weeks later, they caught him. The trial took a long time.
What's a long time?
Fuck, man, I can't remember. So
Years?
it happened in 20. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they sit locked up that whole time, or did they let guys? Okay.
Yeah. For something like that, yeah. Shooting. So he was looking at attempt murder of 2 POs.
Jeez.
So 2 counts.
Done.
So I remember while we were going through and talking with the state's attorney, this is the type of guy Jeff is. And I remember he tattooed his head right where the bullet was. And he tattooed a circle with like blood like dripping from where he got shot from.
Okay.
That's how much
He's a Marine.
Total fucking Marine.
Uh-huh.
I love that dude. And I remember the state's attorney go, they looked at him, they go, I really wish you would have did that after
The trial. He did this during the trial?
during the trial.
Oh my gosh.
And the state's attorney looks at me, he's like, you can talk him out of it? I'm like, dude, look at him. He's got tattoos everywhere.
There's no controlling this
Yeah,
guy.
I think he's got 10 since I've met him.
Yeah.
Like, this one was bound to happen. So, yeah, so we were off for a while. I was off for about 6 months. I did the physical therapy. They send you to talk to someone. I had a pretty good support system. Those guys that were checking up on me.
That's good.
Guys that were, taking me out to eat, and again, like I said, the superintendent called, and the day before I go to work, so after the 6 months is over, I go to the medical section, and I'm like, yeah, I'm coming back to work today, and they're like, all right, so I'm going back to the 11th district. So I check in that day at the medical section at like 9 in the morning, and I go to the superintendent's office. And they're like, how can we help you? I'm like, Superintendent Gary McCarthy told me to come see him before I go back to work. They're like, all right, well, what's your name? Write down my name. Like, give me a minute, sit right here. 5-10 minutes later, they call me. And they're like, all right, come on in. And we get there, and I walk in, and he's like, hey, what's up, man? I go, hey, what's going on, boss? He's like, have a seat. So his dad was like in the military, so he's got all these challenge coins.
Yeah.
Really, really, again, I can only speak my experience
For
with him.
sure.
Super cool fucking dude with me.
Yeah.
Super cool. He's like, what's up, man? How you feeling? How's everything? How's Jeff? I'm like, yeah, he's doing good. He goes, all right. He goes, when you getting back to work? I go, tonight. And he looks at me, he goes, well, just like this. He goes, what the fuck? He goes, I told you come see me before you go back to work, but not the day of. I go, I didn't
I
know.
know what that meant.
He goes, all right. And just like this, he goes, where do you want to go? I'm like, if it's not a problem, we were thinking about going to Fugitive. He's like, want to go to Fugitive? I'm like, yeah, if it's not a problem. He goes, all right, give me 2 weeks. I'm like, he's like, that's where Jeff wants to go? I'm like, yeah. And I had already had this conversation with Jeff. It was going to be either that or Intel. And the reason, so after that, he goes, give me 2 weeks. He goes, I want to introduce you to some people. He takes me into this room, and there's all these bosses. They're like, hey, this is Ruben, new member on Fugitive. And they're like, hey, how you doing? I'm meeting all these, like, captains and...
Really?
Yeah. And he goes, hey, he took a bullet for the city. Let's make sure we take care of him. He goes, give that dude your star number and your employee number. So I'm like, roger that. He goes, you got Jeff's info? I go, yeah. So I gave it to him. I go back to work, shoot the shit with him for like 5-10 minutes. I remember he had to do a press release. This is pretty funny. He had to do a press release, and he had someone that writes it for him.
Mm-hmm.
So he reads it, and he goes, I need your input. This is the same day. I need your input on something. I'm like, yeah, what's up, boss? He goes, he reads it. He tells the girl to read it. And it's like coming from him, though.
Mm-hmm.
And she's reading it, and she finishes, and he goes, how's that sound? Just like that. I go, sounds good to me. He goes, yeah, fuck it. Let's go with that.
Really?
Just like that. I'm like, this fucking guy's normal.
Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, it is what it is. So we leave there. I get back. I tell Jeff, I'm like, dude, we're going on Fugitive in fucking 2 weeks. He's like, damn, for real? So Jeff was still off for like another 2 more months.
Mm-hmm.
I go back to work in 11, and everyone's like, dude, what are you doing here? Like, they're supposed to take care of you. And I didn't want to say nothing, so I'm like, I don't know how this shit works. Yeah. Dude, the next day,
gone.
transfer order to Fugitive.
Really?
Not even 2 weeks, the next day.
Let's get in the Fugitive.
Yeah.
I know we're pushing 3 hours, but
Yeah, Fugitive.
got a piss or anything?
No, I'm good,
Okay,
man.
let's roll. Let's run it.
Fugitive. So we go to Fugitive.
Fugitive Task Force.
Yeah.
How and what is that? And why is this
So
a thing that you're trying to request to put in now?
Well, you get deputized and you work directly with the U.S. Marshals.
Okay, which could probably be a lot of fun.
Super fun. You get the funding
Okay.
that I think every department should have.
Mm-hmm.
You're going after the big fish, so you're going after the high index crimes such as like robbery offenders, criminal sexual assaults, obviously shootings and homicides, and some burglaries depending on how much was stolen and stuff like that.
Really?
So, and you get a lot of collaterals from out of state, and where there's other departments that are like, hey, listen, we're looking for this guy. We found out he's got ties to someone in Chicago. We need you guys. We'll send you the information. He's got a full extradition warrant. Like, once you guys get him,
Bring them.
bag him, tag
That's what
him.
you're doing. You're just hunting people down.
So we were just hunting people down, dude. We were just running case. We would get a case on somebody, and we'd work it, dude.
Really?
We'd
Just you and
find
Jeff?
out. Yeah.
So this
We
is fun. So
found
you guys
out-
have time together.
We have a
now.
team of guys,
Okay.
but Jeff would get a case, I would get a case, and we'd work an individual, and then we'd cross and be like, hey, listen, let me see if I can find out a little bit more on your guy. You find out, because sometimes I zone out and I'm like, this is what I got.
Writer's block
And
in a way.
yeah, and you'll be like, hold on, dude, let me look at his baby mama's info. Where does she get her public aid sent to? Because where does she get her SNAP card and all that stuff? Where does she? I can run in your social, finding out where do you work at, who's giving you a check. You find out so much info.
Really?
And you have access to that through the marshals. And those guys got all the tools. Those guys got all the connects. Those guys do a hell of a job.
Really?
Hell of a job, dude. So you're basically just hunting guys. That's all you're doing.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So
Did you catch any like big name people like on
we
the
caught a
wanted
guy.
list or
We
anything?
caught a guy. So one of my first cases that I helped out with, with the guys on my team. We caught a guy that was, so it was a collateral from out of town. There was three spots that they were going to hit at the same time. So we all had to hit them at the same time.
Okay.
One was in, I believe it was in, the dude was from Utah. So I think one of the places was in Utah, one was in Chicago, and I think one was in Washington. I'm not sure. The one in Chicago was where he was at. So this dude, this is sick, but this dude he had a wife. He was into like comics.
Okay.
Like he was like into the Comic-Con and stuff like that.
Red
He had a wife and he had 2 daughters. And both of his daughters were his. One daughter was, I think, 11 or 12. I think the other one might have been 6 or 7 or something like that. And this dude would go to these Comic-Cons around the world, or these comic book conventions around the world. And this dude, they basically told us, like, if you guys don't catch him in this hit, he's going to be on America's Most Wanted.
Really?
So we were like, damn, this is big fish type shit.
What was he doing?
So what he was doing was they would go to the hotel, wherever they were staying at. He would make his kids sleep on the floor, make his wife sleep on the floor, and he was like this fat slob. And every night he would take one of his daughters in the washroom and molest her.
Really?
Rape her. Every night. Whole time. Dude, that shit fucking still gives me like chills. So we hit this house. We found out that his mom was renting a house there. And we hit the house, and we found it weird that she was giving us a tough time to open up the door.
Okay. Which is a huge red flag immediately.
Huge red flag. But we had guys in the back, guys in the front, and but it was an enclosed back porch.
Okay.
So we couldn't get access to the back porch. So the only way the guy can get out is he would have to get out of the back porch, which they would have caught him. So we finally make entry into the house. We get into the house. We see that there's like 3 or 4 pair of shoes. And then one of my buddies points out the super red flag is there's 2 plates on the table where they were eating at. And we're searching the whole house, can't find them. Looking everywhere, can't find them. And this guy is fucking, he was huge. He was like a fat slob. He had to be at least, I don't know, maybe like close to 400 pounds. Just
really?
a massive slob, but sloppy. And so we call the guys. We're like, hey, did he come out through the back? They're like, no. Anyways, we find him, and he's all the way downstairs, tucked underneath the bottom of the staircase, and he's like just crunched up down there. So that was like one of my first
really
big cases was that. We've gone after guys that have executed little kids.
So you're dealing with the worst.
The worst of the worst. Worst of the worst. Gang member executes another gang member's kid. 8-year-old kid. Lures him into the alley, blows the kid's brains out.
Just because?
Because doesn't like the other guy. So those cases, everybody's on it.
Yeah.
We had like a guy, a cartel guy. This was like one of the first ones too, and I believe he was in either one of the Carolina, either North Carolina, South Carolina. Went to a park, executed this dude and his family. The dude was there with his wife, and I think he had 2 kids. So the dude, his wife, and the 2 kids got like broad daylight at a park, lit him up, get back in the car, drive off. We were searching for that guy, ended up catching him on the south side. So yeah, that was like like rewarding shit.
Yeah.
It was like it beat a lot of.
You're making it like an actual difference.
100%.
What's as a cop? What's something, cop or U.S. Marshal, just your line of work? What is something that the everyday American doesn't even think about that's going on that you guys are dealing with? What is something that would shock just hearing a cop talk?
The amount of shit we see on a daily basis. So you can go easily from like when they say 0 to 100, like seriously, you can go from a call where someone locked themselves out their house. You leave that, you're driving to another call. You see a car, you get an in progress call, which an in progress call is like it's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get there. You could go from there. Then you could go to a domestic where a dude just, beat the brake pads off his wife and he's hammered drunk. And then you leave there and you could go to a DUI where a guy T-boned another car and killed somebody. I mean, just the amount of emotions that you're going through that the normal American does not deal with. You're dealing with everyone's shit in an 8-hour period, or however many hours you're working with. Like, you might have one thing bad happen to you this week, but I'm seeing in an 8-hour period everybody's shit in one. And then there's really nothing you can do. There's these hotlines that you can call to be like, hey, listen, that doesn't really solve the problem of the trauma that you're seeing when you're out there answering these calls and having to deal with these people. All on top of the fact that nobody likes the police nowadays. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, how rewarding is it? It's only up to you how rewarding it is. Because you're doing the right thing at the end of the day.
If you were to start now as a cop versus 16, 17 years ago, would you be a cop now, today?
The way it is now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a great job, if I could change back some stuff, if I could bring back Jeff, yeah.
What's you cool with talking about Jeff?
Yeah.
You speak of Jeff as in a past tense.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. So 2 years ago, took his life. I'm driving home from work, and I remember I got a text message from a guy. Didn't know who it was. Didn't have the number saved. And I met this guy before, just at the cigar lounge. Just never saved his number. Totally forgot to be honest. I'm driving home from work. I got off a little early. So I work for major accidents now. So I do something totally different than Fugitive. So I'm driving home from that, and I get this text message, and it's like, hey, bro, I'm sorry. And I'm like, didn't recognize the number. So I write back, I'm like, hey, who's this? Or no, I write back, huh? And he writes back, hey, did you hear? And I write back, who's this? And he writes back, fuck, man, I'm sorry. And he calls me right after that. And he goes, hey, bro, man, dude, I'm so sorry. I don't know if you heard this, but Jeff just took his life. And I'm like, what? I'm like, who the fuck is this? First of all, I don't even got your number saved. I'm like, what do you mean? He tells me who it is, and I go, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, dude, maybe an hour ago. And I'm like, I was in fucking shock. Couldn't believe it. And I'm like, where are they at? They're like, they're at his house. So I go to his house, and there's fucking cop cars everywhere. And and I remember I saw his sister, and his sister she broke down. And I remember the first phone call I called was one of the marshal guys because I was so nervous. I didn't even know. I didn't know who to call. I didn't know what to do. And I called this one of the marshals that was in charge of us, Jason Norwick, who was a Marine. And I called him. I was like, "Hey, dude, Jeff just took his life." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Dude, don't tell me that." I'm like, "I fucking wish this was a dream, and I wish this wasn't real." He's like, "Fuck, dude." He's like, "I'm so sorry." And oh man, and then I saw his mom. I saw his mom and his dad. This shit broke my heart. Because I know he wanted to do that job.
Take your time, dude.
So much so that I remember he was taking prescription medication. So he would come into work and he'd be out of it. And I remember one day they asked me, they're like, "Hey dude, Jeff good?" I'm like, "Fucking solid." And I remember I grabbed him and I was like, "Dude, fucking work with me, bro. You know, I'm trying to fucking, let people know that you're good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Are you good?" He's like, "I'm good." I go, "All right, dude. I got a kid, dude. I need to make sure you're good." He's like, "I'm good." I'm like, "All right, bet." So I knew that he was struggling, but I knew that he wanted to do that job. So much so that he was taking prescription medication. While he was working with me, he fell down the stairs, tried to break his fall, and tore his whole rotator cuff. He was fucked up. And he was still trying to come back. Dude had a bullet in his head. Still wants to be the police. His dad was the police. So I know he wanted to do that. So I told him one day, I was like, "Dude, fuck this job."
Mm-hmm.
I go, "Bro, you got a bullet in your head." I go, "One of these fucking guys clocks you, we get in a car accident, you fall down the stairs, you're fucked. You're done." The way they explained it to him was you have 3 layers in your skull or something like that. And I guess the bullet went through the first layer, the second layer, and it like fractured the 3rd layer before it gets into your like brain. They're like, the reason why they didn't take it out is they were afraid that if they pull that bullet out, that 3rd layer would just fracture. He'll start leaking fluid into his brain and it'd be done. So they left it in there. So with time, it just grew around it. That's painful. So I told him, I was like, "Dude, fuck this.
Oh.
This shit's not worth it." So, so he ended up doing that and fucking broke a lot of people's hearts and so yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Mm.
That dude wanted to be the police. So it's all good.
What year was that?
I know 2 years ago. I know he's not suffering. That's all that matters, right? I know he's not suffering. I talked to his sisters. Sister's good. His dad's good, I think. I know. I hope they are. His mom. And I know they'll be good. I know as much as I want him to be here, man, I know he's good where he's at. I know he's good where he's at.
I'm sorry, dude.
It's all good. Yeah. So that's Jeff, man. There's so I told you stories about him off camera that you bring me back in a couple years, I could tell some more. But he was a fucking hell of a fucking copper. He was so happy to get on Fugitive, to get his credentials when they deputized him. He was like, "Fuck yeah!" He's like, "Now we could get some of that overtime money." I was like, "Yeah, let's go." And this dude would sit at home and call me at like 12 at night, like, "Hey, dude, I found this guy on Facebook. I know where he's at." I'm like, "Bro, I'm trying to fucking go to sleep. Let's deal with this shit tomorrow." He's like, "Dude, this guy's fucking there right now." Mm-hmm. This guy would go in his car, his personal car, and fucking do surveillance to catch criminals by himself.
What's your favorite memory of him?
Oh, man, too many. Most of them are just situations where, like I said, we there's so many situations where we've gotten in where I'm like, we're done. The marshals are gonna launch us, you know. And nah, dude, this dude always, Jeff knew always how to get out of shit.
Yeah,
always.
That's a skill.
That's a skill. He knew how to get out of shit, from, you know, willing and dealing people to be like, "Hey, listen, you know, let us go in the house and search. You know, if not, you know, it's gonna get worse." And people would open their doors. And then there was days where, if you know Jeff and you saw him, anybody saw him right now, they would be like, "There's no way this guy's a fucking cop." No way. He was tatted from, I don't think there was, I mean, he was tatted all over the place. And we'd knock on the door and people look through the peephole and they'd be like, "You're not the fucking police." And we're like, "No, Jeff, move over. We're the police. Open the door, please." I'm like, "Dude, they're not going to open the door for you. They're not going to open the door for you."
Yeah.
He loved riding motorcycles. He actually, you want to talk about a guy that used to piss off state police? He used to ride next to state police and he used to just rev it and take off on it just to piss them off. State police.
This dude's a cop.
And he's like, "I don't care." And one day he told me a story that one day he was riding and he got in an accident. And he goes, "Dude," he goes, "everybody at his funeral was telling this story, and some of the guys that ride motorcycles with him, this dude used to stand up on his bike like this."
Oh, yeah.
Just crazy shit. Crazy shit. But they said he fell off. He got in a motorcycle accident on a highway, fell off his motorcycle, rolled, tried to, he was sliding on his ass, and his pants were like just ripping, and he tried to stand up on his feet, and he just kept flipping and flipping and flipping. His buddy picked him up, took him to the hospital, and he said state police showed up and they laughed at him. They showed up to the hospital just to laugh at him.
Oh, because they knew it was him.
They knew it was him. And I was like, "Dude, what do you expect, dude?" He's like, "Can you believe those fucking jagoffs?" I would have did the same thing, dude.
Yeah.
You've been fucking with him this whole time.
Yeah.
And he was just a great guy, dude. He was a great police officer. He worked his ass off. He wanted to be the police. And, you know, he struggled with a lot of stuff. And a lot of people, you know, you get these people sometimes that ask you, like, "Hey, did you see signs?" I'm sure you've heard that. Like,
oh, for sure.
Did you see anything that like caught your attention. And I tell people this all the time. If you ever knew Jeff and he was acting normal, that's when you got to question it.
Okay.
Because he was never acting. He was always thinking of some wild shit. How to get into a house, or how he was going to, convince his dad that he needs this brand new Corvette. He needs his dad to help him get this brand new Corvette, or this brand new, how he got a grand piano into his house. He was a bachelor. He got this grand piano in his house. When I first became partners with him, I was like, dude, this is badass. He's like, yeah, they had to hoist it. He lived on the 3rd floor. They had to hoist it into my house. I go, what? He goes, yeah. I go, can you play it? He goes, absolutely not. I go, why'd you buy it? He goes, it looks badass, right? I'm like, you're fucking stupid.
That's a bachelor right there.
Yeah, he was like, he just wanted to have it in his house. I was like, dude, you can't even play. Are you going to learn? He's like, no. He goes, it looks cool. I was like, all right, whatever, dude. So.
Well, good for Jeff.
Yeah, man. Cool dude. Definitely. Great guy.
I mean, you hear so many cops doing this. I mean, like, are there besides going, you hear if you go and talk to somebody, then you're labeled immediately.
Yeah.
Does that stop, you think, a lot of guys from actually reaching out and getting help?
They have these numbers that you can call where they don't know who they're talking to, and it's anonymous, and yeah, they will, because you're dealing with people every day, and you're dealing with you have the opportunity to take a life if you ever have to, which that's a serious thing
For sure.
To have the the green light to do if God forbid you ever had to take someone's life, and whether they're shooting at you, they're trying to stab you, whatever the case is. And if you have these these tough times that you're going through, I think the department is going to cover their ass before they.
Oh,
so yeah, sure. They're going to label you, and that might lead to you being on desk duty,
Which is, to a lot of guys, that's the end of a career. Right?
Yeah, that's
there.
A career ender. Like.
So you're.
I knew a guy that was on the desk. He shot a kid. The kid pointed a gun at him. It was a fake gun.
Oh God!
Kid pointed a gun at him. I think the kid was like 12 years old. He killed the kid. It was never the same.
God, how can you be?
It was never the same, and was on the desk for his whole career. Great guy too. Super. He's obviously gotten past that. This was like years ago, but a great dude, man. A dude that you look at him, you're like, fuck, dude, this guy doesn't deserve to be on the desk, but I know why they did that, because he was probably struggling with the fact that he took this kid's life.
For sure. That's a tough thing.
And you like, I used to see a lot of people say, hey, listen, the thing I hate too sometimes is you see these people and they're like, hey, listen, they talk to their kids and they're like, hey, listen, if you keep acting up, I'm going to call the police. It's like, why? You're almost putting us in that we're the bad guys.
Yeah, you're the authority that's going to come.
You better stop, or I'm going to call the police. They're going to come get you. We should drive by. They used to be like, you see them? They're going to come get you if you keep on. They used to be like, don't say that.
Yeah, because they're labeling you as that.
They're sponges right now.
They're
don't
programming
say that shit.
from an early age.
Yeah, we're not going to come get you, dude. We're not going to come get you. But that's nobody likes the police.
Yeah.
And I hope one day it'll turn around. I think it will. But I hope one day they can understand. Yeah, I think one day people are going to understand how important that job is. Because it's very
absolutely, important. But I feel at the same time that cops are their own worst enemy at the same time.
I think that's on a small scale, though.
Okay.
I think the more important factor is that one day people are going to realize how important the job is.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yes, the cops can be their worst enemy. And yes, here's the thing, though. You have bad apples in every profession.
Yep.
I tell this to everybody. You got priests that molest kids.
100%.
You got teachers that are fucking students.
100%.
And having babies and all types of shit. You got doctors that are prescribing these medications knowing the side effects of them.
100%.
You got, let's not even go into politics and how corrupt that is. So every profession, you're going to have bad apples. Police department has them. Fire department has, I mean, every job has it. But you can't neglect, nobody's saying, hey, let's defund the teachers union.
Yeah, which they should.
Let's defund how about let's stop giving politicians a raise? Let's start there.
But no, I get it. It's tough though, because the political shift that turned on law enforcement, I feel it was majorly during the Obama administration is when we started to be anti-cop in this country. It was a huge pivot. At least that's how I feel when I started to notice and all that. And then it's just gotten worse. But it's like, how do we correct this? And I talk to a lot of cops, and with our charity and helping program, involved in the community, not in it but around it. And it's I feel the country will never bandwidth cops I feel because of the funding. The cops just aren't educated and taught correctly and have the right resources. So they're doing what they can with the bare minimum in a lot of departments, which stretches them thin, puts stress on these guys. They're not trained properly. I mean, we're helping cops get pistol and carbine training, and these guys, the last time they've been to courses has been when they went through the academy. And then it's like, now we're putting these people into our community that are here to protect and serve, and most of them don't even know how to properly even handle a firearm. Half of them are out of shape. And it's like, okay, if we are going to show the public how important it is, because everybody wants to shit on cops until you need a cop, which is hilarious to me. But it's like, how do we get the community and the police force together? Because I have Rob. I think you watched Rob's episode.
Yeah.
He's talking about going to, like a quinceañera, or there's a Cinco de Mayo party and showing up. I feel as long as administrative side of departments are run the way they are with the corruption and how cannibalistic it is, you're never going to have an awesome police force, because it starts at the top. Because these guys are getting in trouble for trying to be cops. I feel we need to go old school policing, where you're showing up at parties, but you're able to know your community, know what's going on your beat. And I don't even know if this is realistic, but it's like, there's no public cop interaction anymore. Now it's just driving by, cruising. Oh, there's a cop, whatever, they nod. They're not, you see it here and there, but I personally feel they need to get back into the community more. And I don't even know if it's even a realistic thing anymore, but it's sad to see, because you see old school cops and you talk to them, they're like, dude, I knew every single person on this block. I could walk anywhere and they knew who I was. They had the respect of the community.
But they had, like in Chicago, for instance, those old school cops, they had the respect that, not necessarily that you would respect towards your parents, but they had that, hey, listen.
Authority respect.
Yeah. Like, listen, it's going to be a bad day for you if you're acting up.
Yeah.
And then now what's happening is the problem with what you're saying, that's kind of, it's not impossible.
For sure.
But what the problem that you're running into, I'm speaking on Chicago, and it's probably other departments, is now nobody wants to be the police, right? So when no one wants to be the police, now you got to lower the standards.
Yep.
And once you lower the standards,
done.
You get a few in, and they're they could be the bad apples, or some could be good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need the numbers, because nobody wants to be the police. Everyone hates the fucking police. So now these old school guys are retiring. They're getting out as soon as they got time. So now the force is young. So now you're gotta get a little lower when it comes to standards. Now it's like, how many times you been arrested? Okay, you're good. So the standards is like, oh, you got a couple felonies? It's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna pull from that, then you got to understand that it could happen. Now you could pull from the top tier and still get assholes and cops that don't know how to interact with people and have conversations and treat people with respect. Because a lot of people will get on the job, get the badge, just like you know, and they're shoving it in your face like, I'm the police, listen to me, this, that, and the third.
Yep.
And that's not how you police, and that's gonna eventually turn into that cop making a mistake, because no one's gonna respect that.
No
one wants to respect that.
No.
You know, I still to this day, cops get behind me and I still get nervous, and I'm a cop. Because I respected cops from back in the day. Like, I know
how they used to police.
Yeah, I mean, they come up to the car. Yeah, I might show my ID, but I give them my insurance, my ID, my insurance, my license, and every now and then I'll throw in my police ID. Now, it's a courtesy. If they let me go, cool, but it's still respectful. Yeah. I know what they're doing. I know what they're about to do. I probably know why they stopped me. So I've been on the other side of this, so I know, but I still respect them. I've ran into coppers where they're like, there's a video of a cop where he's disrespecting another cop in Chicago, where he's like cursing him out. It's like, bro, we're on the same team, dude. Like, this could go so easy. Like, we're on the same team.
Yep.
Not only the same team, the same department. It's not like a cop from like Idaho in fucking California. Like, bro, we're
in the same
CPD.
Department. Yeah, we checked out. Like, we're on different shifts.
Yeah.
We see each other.
Yeah, like, why are you?
Wild.
It's wild.
That's because I feel like those are like the TikTok influencer cops, which is a whole other topic. But that's the shit I feel is ruining the cop community. Putting some tatted, blonde, hot cop on TikTok, and she's the face of your department doing dances in her car, isn't helping the community in any way. My opinion. I think
you're right.
I think it's an absolute joke, but it's like, I would rather see her or him. There's male influencer cops too. I would rather see them out there playing pickup ball for 5-10 minutes with a bunch of kids, or doing a kickflip on a skateboard. Like, that to me is police. Like, that's getting into the community, not doing some trending stupid TikTok dance because you got a badge and you're going to get views because you're a hot cop on TikTok. Like, that to me, I feel is
I got to tell you a story about that off camera, dude.
Okay.
That's going to blow your mind.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine. But, well, dude, I want to shift gears real quick because it's been fucking almost 4 hours with you. It goes quick.
I know.
Let's talk War Machine, and we'll wrap this up for you because I know you got you know, we've been here
Platoon,
for a while. How did you get into making cigars?
During COVID, I was a member at the Cigar Lounge. During COVID, me and my buddy, we talked about creating a blend. He is a cigar sommelier, so he like knows everything about cigars.
Yeah.
So I talked to him, and I was like, "Hey, listen, dude, I want to create a blend just for me.
Yeah.
See how it is." He's like, "All right, dude, let me work on something." I knew this guy in Jersey. This is like the quick story to it.
Yeah.
I knew this guy in Jersey, got with him. His cousin owned a tabacalera in Dominican Republic. So I got with him, told him what I wanted to do. He sent me, we refined the blend a little bit. He sent it out to me, a couple samples. That first sample was the samples that I paid out of pocket, and I sent it to everybody. I sent it to a couple guys that you know, and I sent it to Dom. I was like, hey, tell some guys that smoke cigars, hit them up, tell them I'll send it free of charge, send me their address, tell me what they think, give me some feedback. I had like 1,000 cigars or something like that, and I just pushed them out to everybody. Got great feedback on it. After that, I was like, fuck it, let's roll with it. Contacted the guy, was like, hey, listen, let's roll with it. I need, I need to make this, something bigger now. So since then, that was, so technically it started in 2020.
Yeah.
But like we've been rolling since 21.
Nice, dude.
And we recently were supposed to drop the, so this is the War Machine. We were supposed to drop our second blend, the Saigon, but we're having some issues with shipping and licensing, where the Tabacalera that we're using now doesn't have certain license to ship, so now they got to apply for it, and we don't know how long it's going to take for them to get the approval of that. So we're definitely going to release the Saigon. We just have to push it back, and we don't know right now. We don't have a actual date when we're going to release it, but yeah, we're definitely going to release that one, and we'll probably release that one. We'll probably after. So these are pretty much done, but after the Saigon, we're probably going to release 2 with the Saigon.
Okay.
So the Saigon and another one.
Is it being a business owner fun? Learning tariffs and taxes
and I'll go back really quick. Is that I appreciate you guys showing love.
Oh, absolutely.
And
man.
I told you this earlier, that you guys always show love. I respect you and how you have your daughter in the business with you. That's super
Thank
cool. You. And so I just wanted to just let that be known, that I love that you are creating something with your daughter, and
Thank you.
It's pretty dope.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
means a lot.
Yep.
I know she sits over there and hears it all, but no, it means a lot, man. Like it's not easy, and it's.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of work.
17-year-old. I got a 17-year-old, so I know it's not easy.
You know how it is.
She's super talented, but I know she's got her own little attitude, so
and their own mind and thought process, and so much going on in life. But man, yeah, I'm excited, and it's the least we can do here, and I've talked about it before, and it drives me nuts that there's these veteran platforms that have huge pull and huge numbers, and I get it's their platform, but for me, it's like, dude, if I can help a vet, a cop, a firefighter, whatever it may be, by promoting a product, and dude, you reach right out right away. You're like, yo,
I'll send the boys some cigars.
And every
big
guest.
Shout out to Dom too, man.
Yeah, bro.
Dom, like, he connected us, and I told him, I was like, dude, I want to donate, and I want to make sure that it's going to the boys, and I want to make sure that it's legit. He was like, wishes, dude.
Yeah.
I'll introduce you to BAM, this, that, and the third. Like, so big shout
dude,
out to him.
Huge shout out to Dom for the connection, and I appreciate the support. And as long as you're slinging cigars, bro, they'll always be part of the podcast. And the guests love them. I mean, I'd say the majority of them are cigar guys and do it. So yeah, dude, I don't care how big we get. You were one of the OGs that reached out, and you'll always have my support, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing some stories. You need to hurry up and retire, because I want.
We could tell some other stories when I retire. give me about 3 years, and
I got you.
I could give you the unfiltered.
Well, dude, any advice and closing remarks? Any advice for anybody wanting to be a cop? Anything you would want to let them know to this younger generation that's getting into it these days?
Just do it, man. Jump into it head first. You're gonna learn. I mean, I could tell you things, but you're gonna learn on the fly, depending on what department you go to, depending on what city you go to. Learn on the fly. Do not let the badge change you. Remember who you were before you got that job. You're a human being. You're dealing with other human beings. Make sure you're professional. Make sure you, if you decide to take that route, make sure you're professional and treat everyone with respect. That's it, man. And don't get in any trouble. Don't TikTok, and that's. I mean, I know it's a thing to do now with law enforcement, and there's a lot of people that are doing it, and I'm not gonna sit here and say you're the worst, but it's like, realize what you're drawing more attention to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a uniform. You're drawing more attention to yourself. And when you're in that uniform, everyone's going to treat you differently.
Yep.
No matter what. So do you want that? Do you want extra attention to yourself?
No.
You know, now they know you're the TikTok cop. Now when you're out with your friends and you get hammered and you get in a car or something like that, they're watching you.
Everybody's watching.
Yep. And
they're looking.
Yep. So just be smart about it. And if you want to be the police, just do it.
Yep.
Just do it.
Well, dude, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
the,
man.
for the opportunity. And thanks for coming out. I know I've talked about you on almost every episode promoting the cigars. And I
finally got out here.
I think I always say, like, he's coming out. We're going to get him on an episode. I don't know how many times I've had to go through that and listen to it on each episode, but finally made it happen. So thank you, man. I appreciate you. Seriously. This was a great conversation, man.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
For sure, bro.
Give you a hug?
I know you lost it.